What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, and hope you're having a wonderful start to your holidays here as we welcome you in for the final Series E broadcast here of 2022. It's Friday, which means Series E MultiVersus, and we are here and ready for some fun. My name is Yeso, your host, is always excited to be joining y'all as we wrap up another year here at Esports Arena. It's been a wonderful 2022, and we're excited to end it on a high note here with tonight's tournament. For those of you that are new, welcome into the show. Do want to tell you just how things work with here Series E, so we're all on the same page. Now, Series E is a professional esports open circuit that absolutely anyone can join across multiple different titles. We've got Apex Legends, Guilty Gear Strive, and of course, MultiVersus. Now, the way things work is players and teams come out, they compete in our open qualifiers, and the best of the best make it into Series E. Now, what does that mean for them? Well, players will get the opportunity to sign a contract. They'll get sponsored by one of our partnered brands. They will earn a monthly salary and get the opportunity to compete weekly for points and prize money. Now, in MultiVersus, it'll be every Friday against some of the top talent from all across the MultiVersus scene here in this double elimination tournament. Now, if you and your friends want to learn more about Series Z, get some more information, answer some further questions, make sure to head over to esportsarena.com today. Now, as we come back here into the studio, we're going into our third week of competition tonight. And, of course, we're coming off of K7's big victory last week, okay? K7 squad running it all the way through the winner's side, getting forced into the reset there in Grands, but coming back with a strong finish, and they looked damn good doing it. We got to see plenty of Batman all throughout the night, which was super fun. And now we'll have to see if the Series E squad and those players can bounce back. Of course, big eyeballs have been on Mirman and Kosalix since the start of the season. A lot of people have had their eyes on that duo, and a lot of the other Series E duos marked those two as the squad to beat, and a lot of them excited to compete against them on a consistent basis. And while Mirman and Kosalix improved on their first week finish last time around, getting into the top three, they've yet to break into that grand finals, and we'll have to see if maybe they can do it here tonight before we close out 2022. And of course, if you like the threads, I don't really have much Christmas attire at home, but a little bit of a double sweater here, the hockey sweater with the ugly sweater on it. Had to wear it for the show today. Feeling very festive here as we get ready for our holidays. And we've got a little something special for you tonight as well. Of course, if you've watched last week, you saw my good friends EE and Charles coming in and calling all of the action. Well, they brought a friend in today for a full TriCast. So we're going to have just a breadth of analysis over in the next studio over, so I hope you enjoy that all today. I'll be here in between sets to keep track of what's going on in the bracket, maybe check out some replays and break things down all throughout, but those three gents next door will have all the action for every single match today, and I hope you're looking forward to it. Get excited for the holidays, folks. Get excited for tonight's bracket, and let's kick it off here. The final night of Series E here for 2022. Let's kick it off right now.
What's going to be the play? Uppercut. Yes, sir. Up there. And
there we go.
We're
going to have a 2-hole stock lead.
Oh, and then the butt bomb Cosmos is out of there. Oh, my God.
With you, but, I mean, look at how close it is already. We have all 4 players at over 100%. Mirman's going to lose his first stock on the dagger on the Velma, which is going to be very good because then it could just be bringing himself right on over to deal with Martoon, and they're going to be able to get it to
He knows he can't really send Arya.
Bro, Mirman is looking so hard for this kill, and he's going to be able to get it. Oh my goodness. So blue team going to take the first game out of nowhere.
All right, everyone, and welcome to Series E. We are here today, like we said before, it's going to be the last series happening here of the year. Of course, my name is Bam. I am joined by the greatest to do it, man, Charles Thorne, and of course, EE, and we are going to be casting some lovely MultiVersus action for you guys today. Of course, you know, we are on the heels of a new patch that's happened, so we're going to have some incredible changes kind of going around. This has been more so a push to really get this game into an even more high-level place, and of course, with punishing going on as well. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts currently on this patch?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts on this patch was, I mean, across the board, it was kind of hard to tell who exactly got nerfed and buffed. There were some obvious ones, right? Like Strike obviously got hit, still going to be a relevant character. but just a lot more end lag on a lot of moves, right? So with a lot more end lag on the moves, there's going to be more opportunities to whiff punish, not only in singles, but as well in the doubles format that we're going to go on today. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I know Wonder Woman, it looked like Wonder Woman took some, I don't know if it was unintentional damage through some of this.
The shadow nerfs.
Yeah, the shadow nerfs, as people were calling it. So I'm interested, because we saw Wonder Woman teams like be very prevalent in the last bracket that we were here for, right? So I'm curious to see how that'll affect those players on that particular character. But yeah, I mean, that's, one thing that people kind of rave about this game is that they're always addressing issues and making changes. And it doesn't have to be permanent changes. Sometimes they can revert back if something's gone a little too far, but kind of giving people a different look to kind of shift the meta every now and then. Nothing wrong with that. And I think it's kind of appropriate that that's kind of the way we'll wrap up this year's Series E for MultiVersus. So, I'm excited to see who's going to do what, and if we might see kind of like even more characters grace the bracket on this one. Because I remember we were pretty, we didn't have the greatest variety last week as far as maybe we saw like 6 or 7 characters. So you never know like who's going to like to try something different, maybe to account for some of those changes.
Yeah, I think in terms of character variety, the only characters we were kind of missing in terms of relevant characters that are meta were Rick and Morty were the main ones that we didn't see too much of last week, but it's also just the player pool as well. Yeah, of course,
right? Of course.
So we will see. I mean, the Wonder Woman shadow nerfs, they're a pretty big deal. So I don't know if it'll force some players off of Wonder Woman or not. Another big change that they did implement as well is kind of messing around with that Z-axis. So the Z-axis is essentially like in a 2D world, the Z-axis is that 3D plane, right? So sometimes moves would hit or whiff because hurt boxes or hit boxes are in the Z-axis, and it gets a little funky. So the team at Player First Games trying to address some of those problems as well with that Z-axis stuff. So all this stuff is a lot harder than you think to deal with. So I mean, shouts to Players First Games. They're really trying their best to kind of match up everything, and even just listening to the community feedback, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they've taken it all in strides. They recognize where the game is. And one of the big things they wanted to really address is what we've been talking about, of course, the whiff punish. And I love that they've been specifically on whiff recovery. So you still have these moves, and in order, if you do land a move, you still have the frame advantage needed, right, to go in and do combos. Right. But at the same time, people can punish you if you're just throwing out hitboxes for free, right? Can't be doing that anymore, right? They're really trying to address that and really at the same time make sure they'll
my whole gameplay style has been changed, man.
Yeah, see ya. That's not working no more.
One thing that hasn't changed though is the format. We'll take a look at that so you guys see how exactly everything's gonna break down. I mean, you see it right there. First gets awarded 50 points, second 40 points, third 30, fourth 20, fifth 10, and seventh 5. So no matter what, guys, you're always walking away with some points being accumulated just for participating. You see pretty much the same as last time, double elimination for the 2v2 tournament. Matches will be best of 3 until we get into that top 4 area, and then you're gonna see best of 5, which is where the action really heats up. Default timer, of course, 7 minutes, 4 ring outs, gets the job done for a game. Stage hazards are off, with the perks, of course, being legal. And the winner must keep their character. Loser may switch after confirming with the winner's character picks. And you can see the stage list presented right there. Trophy's Edge, Batcave, Sky Arena with the platforms, and Chromulus will be the stages. And of course, first place $300, second place $150, and third place $50. So some good coin on the line as well, just for showing up and competing for something you do anyway.
Yeah.
Tis the season, man.
There it is.
Tis is the season.
You see Santa right here, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. He's giving out the prizes, man.
Is that Santa or Clark Kent, man? I've seen that skin. You don't know now. He's flying out here. He's absolutely flying.
A lot better than that Batman one. I'm sorry, man. What's that? Was he Rudolph? What's
that was that red sweater. That was just ugly.
I got some questions. Man.
Don't do Bruce like that.
I'm sorry, man. Bruce did it to himself. All that money, that's what you're buying. Anyway.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, we're probably going to get into our first match here soon. I'm really excited to start things off. I mean, last week we saw K7 with Legendary showing things off with the Batman and the Velma, right? Very strong team. Velma, one of the most versatile characters in the game, along there with like bugs and stuff like that. In terms of flexibility of what you can go with, right? You can go with a big, bulky bruiser frontline, or just someone really quick and speedy. K7 really showing off the movement of Batman to really, really take these KOs and just last as long as possible in terms of denying the points to the enemy team, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very interesting to see kind of what is going to happen from there. I know a lot of Batman players have kind of echoed sentiments of like frustration, right? Seeing as the changes have come into play, how they're going to utilize their characters, some of the combo routes that are gone currently, and how they're going to be able to maneuver and really get that damage and really be able to put their end in when it comes to overall team mechanics, right? Because Velma, incredible support, time and time again, going to hold you down. But if Bruce ain't picking it up, man, he got to go, man. He got to go back to the mansion.
I think that's actually really, really well said. Like K7, one thing that we lauded about him last week was the fact like he was just there in a support role and an offensive role as well. So it really proved to be quite impressive and kind of helped them get that big W. But we are moving on to winners round number 1, and going to see some Superman on the screen. I know Bam is excited about that. He's a Superman aficionado. So let's get right into it, man. Teaming up with Stripe.
Yes, man. What a great selection there too. I mean, Superman is a character who has blinding speed, right? Of course, with his dodges and doing a lot of those cancel there. So that's in tandem with Stripe and being able to essentially have a reticle on across the stage. They're going to be able to really threaten and get some obscenely early points.
Oh yeah, and I mean, even after Stripe getting hit with that side air was the main tool that got hit in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Look at this, we still see 2 stripes on the screen. Very relevant character regardless. Superman, wow, I mean,
Did he just scare him away?
Yeah.
He didn't even touch him.
It's Halloween now.
Just the presence alone of Superman. Really surprising Koslix there, so that's going to be the first one. Koslix and Mirrorman, as we touched on, a team that is very well respected, and a lot of high hopes for this team, no doubt about that. But if yet, as Yeso said, to touch a grand finals, this could very well be their tournament, no doubt about that. But they're going to obviously have a long road to get there. They need to pick it up right now, trying to find that first KO.
Yeah. See the chase there on the edge guard, and that's really going to be the big thing here for a red team, making sure that they are, whenever they see someone off stage, to just take away all those resources instantly and get them team kills. You have opportunity here. Mirrorman's going to go up top, going to potentially go for a punish there, but it looks like Dante's going to go low. And of course, you cannot do that against Superman.
Yes.
That is his world, not yours.
There have been some adjustments, but that rule still applies. When he's off stage, you need to pay him the proper amount of respect, kind of putting himself in a hole, being a little too greedy and not respecting their opponent.
Yeah, even the risk reward there as well. I mean, Superman is at such high percent, right? And you don't want to play that Superman minigame. That is his domain. I mean, obviously, the up special there has been hit a couple of times, but still a very strong position for, for the Superman.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, tough start right now for Mirrorman and Koslix. Looking to bounce back. And I mean, you see those percentages too. They're very generous. So the red team really not in too much danger. Meanwhile, Blue, they can't afford to take another big hit. And you see Soups, he is absolutely headhunting.
Yeah.
That's one thing he will do. He will apply that pressure on and off the stage.
Yeah, and Team Vitamin Water right now, they're not too high in percent. So they actually can line up a double KO here. On the red team, it is, triple digits here on the stripe. So they're getting some damage on the Superman here. Superman is combo food as well. Ooh. Okay, great pickup. Both characters off stage right now. The red team is in trouble.
Good opportunity here for Team Vitamin Water.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
For the reversal, wait a minute. You have low resources going top.
Oh, my goodness.
What a save.
Yeah. So close.
That rocket was everything in that situation. Now it's red team with all the control here. How does blue team get by and get the reversal? But they just needed one. So doubling down there on that situation, red team will go ahead and secure that first victory.
I almost feel like they exchanged the life right there for the victory, right? Like just putting themselves in that position where they knew there was going to be a ton of chaos there on the bottom side of that left portion of the stage, but they were willing to go for it because they knew, look, we're one away and we can't afford to let us get in a position to get that double KO. They were so close to closing in, and we know how many games can end off somebody just kind of clutching that one out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing about it is, like, that's such a great opportunity for them as well, right? Because when you're looking at Vitamin Water, right, you're looking at this team, they were like, hey, if we can get two here, we can close it out, right?
Right.
And that makes for the sweetest of baits every single time. So they're gonna come out there, they're gonna look for the edge guard, they're gonna look to get 2 points, and they're like, you know what, we just need one, and we are playing the characters that can do it in spades when you're off stage, and they end up making it happen. Really stellar stuff.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. I mean, Mirrorman was able to get the one down air there to get one KO, 1 point on the board, but you needed two, and you couldn't lose one. That was the big caveat, right? And as long as the red team went ahead and traded with the KOs, with the points there, it's all going to be on their side. And this first round of winners is best of 3. So this 1 point on the board is huge.
Best thing red team did there was they didn't panic. Like, to your point, Charles, they understood their position that they were in. Blue team had to take a few more risks. And, it's a risk for a reason. It didn't pay off, but nonetheless, you kind of had to go for it in that position. So eager to see what Game 2 has in store. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think, again, a team with as much recognition, star powers, Costlix, and Mirrorman, you don't expect them to be in danger round 1 of any tournament to go on a loser's bracket, but that's what they're facing right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, they're going against like Kote and Dante. Dante obviously being one of the prevalent Superman mains we've seen for time and time again. And I'll actually tell you, fun fact, he is the reason why I actually ended up playing Superman. I believe I ran into him early on. I was playing Batman, just bushy eyes, walking outside the opera in the alleyway, you having a good time. Bruce, man, I'm like, loses his parents, man. Anyway,
we got another origin story over here, folks.
I'm telling you, he robbed me. And he's about that day-to-day life, man. So you always got to watch him on point.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like we're jumping right into game number 2. Going to be an exciting one. No character switches, of course. Mirrorman and Costlix still supremely confident. One thing to note too, Ben, I don't know if you saw it last week, but actually Mirrorman was kind of showing off that Batman too. Like he definitely was kind of reaching into those pockets, letting us know he is far from a one-trick pony. So gonna stick with the bugs here, but good to know that he does have some options should they enter loser's bracket.
No, absolutely.
Oh my goodness, and maybe headed right there off that hit. Superman, great pickup.
That wasn't even the up special.
No.
It just looked like the up air there coming out from Soups.
Just a duck to the sky, man.
And again, we see Red Team with a very early lead here against Team Vitamin Water, and this is such a big deal. Again, this is a team that had a lot of high expectations, but we'll give credit to Team Vitamin Water, Costlix, and Mirrorman. They have been getting still some pretty good placements, right? They're getting points on the board consistently week after week. 1 4th place, 1 3rd place, so still up in that upper echelon, getting those points. But you want as much as possible, especially in this last tournament of the year.
100%. All right, so pressure right now definitely mounting. I was gonna say Soups in those triple digits, definitely opportunity to get the KO, and they definitely find it. Oh, okay, for Superman and me. I love the aggression right now, really trying to dictate stuff and pressure on that left side, but able to kind of fight their way through it.
Costlix tanking right now, really denying this point here. 1 more gun, okay, it is enough. That shot is able to close it out, 2 points a pop.
Yeah, absolutely, really stellar stuff there. One of the big things I really want to see from Costlix has always been a really, really phenomenal defensive player, right? We see it time and time again with the Velma and whatnot, but the big thing I'm seeing right now, Stripe is a character you need to go for robbery. You need to see them in the alleyways, you got to be there, and you got to take those resources as much as possible. We're not seeing that nearly enough. For him, he's playing Stripe a little bit more defensively, so you usually don't see all too much, but I do think that's allowing Team Occult essentially to just go forth and really just rack up these high kills. And we see right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. We were just talking about how, he was tanking for a while, but that time, just kind of getting that life abruptly ended. So that's going to put match point right here for the red team, looking pretty solid, though. There is the threat of that double KO, much as they faced in the last game, with them being so high in percentages. So blue team understanding we still have a big opportunity. That Acme missile going to help get them there.
Okay, okay, not going to hit Costlix off to the right there. It's really big, and right now it's all on red team just to deny this point. But so on the blue team, right?
Yep, Mirrorman's there.
Oh no! Okay, yeah, I saw that. So that's all like those shots connect.
Yeah,
I was like, we were heading to game number 3. Nice bounce back from the blue team, and again, that's what happens when even you're trailing, but you have both of them up there in those higher percentages. Always a possibility, and Costlix and Mirrorman, not the ones to let opportunity go to waste.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to bet on those guys in that kind of situation, right? Especially when you have your person at high percentage being Mirrorman. Mirrorman is just a phenomenal player, and of course, he's playing Bugs, and he is one of the characters that's probably the best, like being able to stall, right? I mean, of course, you can go in tunnel, right? With cooldowns, of course. Yeah. I mean, you have the tunnel, right? You have the safe, right? You have the glide, even, and of course, the rocket. So you have a lot of tools to kind of stay back and hold on and really tank at those high percentage situations, and Mirrorman was able to do that effortlessly.
Yeah, and I mean, Mirrorman has been in that position so many times before, right? I mean, one of the most experienced MultiVersus players when it comes to these tournament brackets. So, and one of the best players to just do it in the game in general.
True. Yeah,
so talented.
The resume absolutely backs that up, both on and offline. That's something that you really got to kind of nod your head to, because it is a different world for sure. But he shows up to all those tournaments. So good on them clutching that one out. They got one more to get through. But I mean, hey, got to give a lot of credit to the red team too. I mean, they didn't win that first game by luck or happenstance. They are very much so engaged as well. So I mean, game 3 really is just up for grabs. The 2 evenly matched teams I'm seeing, and it just goes to show how difficult this tournament is when you get matches like this in just round 1.
Yeah, Mike and Dante really on the offense on the red team, right? Just so much pressure, and I love their double edge guards. They're committed. They aren't shy off stage for sure. They will go super hard in the paint, and I mean, Superman can cover so much area. Obviously, with all the different specials and the dodge as well. And the multi hits. Such a good character for edge guarding, and then you pair that up with Stripe as well. You're going to have a recipe for disaster. But we've seen it. We've seen the blue team, really use their defense, get through it, especially Mirrorman in that disadvantaged state, stalling as much as possible, and just, again, bringing as much value to every single point on the board.
All right, a big game 3 brewing for our round 1 here at Series E, final Series E of the year for MultiVersus. So obviously everybody wants to perform to the best of their abilities. Let's see who's going to show up right now. Ooh, okay, now kind of what you mentioned there, Charles, not shying away from applying that pressure off stage, but you know what? Blue team can do the exact same thing. Great catch by Cosplay to secure that, but the immediate result, the stripes right here, out here just exchanging and catching bodies.
Don't feed him after midnight.
Oh, you're done. You're done.
My goodness.
But still got that up air, bro. You got to respect it.
Yep.
The bat.
That
It
was
is still
huge.
swinging, and it is still so powerful. But look at
Oh,
these
you're gone.
setups.
No.
That's insane.
All these points are just getting racked up so fast. I mean, the offense is blaring in this game number 3 for both teams now. It's so fun to watch. And again, you really see that stripe gun, even with the changes, so powerful. Even if you just have that one bullet in the chamber, you can go ahead and do that and then go into that side air, or just pressure the opponent because you're stripping away those resources. Even downward as well.
Yeah, can't escape, man. Bang, bang.
You see it right there, just throwing up. Just the execution and precision on both teams is so good. Like, nobody really able to get a solid lead and just keep the things completely even. These are those matches that will really go down to the wire. Man, Hunting right there, gonna let the go low, smart stuff.
Okay, but red team is bleeding just a tad bit more in terms of percentages. It looks like this game kind of slowing down a little bit, and in terms of pacing, I think that's going to be advantage to the blue team here. But wait a minute, the double dunk, the triple dunk, can you finish it? No, Mirrorman.
Oh, yeah, done! Oh my goodness,
But
bro.
the swap.
Absolutely, man. What a play, right? You see your teammate there, and you're like thinking, oh, I need to help him. It's actually, no, help yourself.
Yeah, that's just good comms, man. You know they're just talking about it.
You're at 15. Don't let it be you. Don't let it be you.
Oh, no. Yo, welcome to the alleyway.
He said, don't let it be you. And it turned out, he's him. He's him.
me.
For all the wrong reasons. Oh, no.
Oh, welcome to Krypton. Wow.
No.
Jeez.
What a way to start off this tournament. Top seeds of the tournament going to the losers bracket. I mean, we've seen Mirrorman and Cosmix bring it back in losers, but man, that is a tough break. And I'll tell you right now, in the world of MultiVersus, nothing hurts more than losing that point to your opponent, right? Just getting KO'd at such early percent.
You get like 15.
15 was the number.
Yeah.
I saw 15 and I was like, it doesn't matter how low that number is. When you're that close, Clark Kent don't care.
Yeah.
He don't care.
At all. And it's crazy too, because Dante was holding on to that. So the majority of the time we saw him go, he was going for doing for the side special, just flying every single time up top. This time around, instead of doing that, he stopped, waited for the dodge. Oh, you dodge? Get grabbed, get tossed.
And I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it shows the pressure that he put on him in that situation, because they knew they were at match point. So you give up a dodge here just because it's almost a panic option, right? I just want to get out this situation, back to the stage, reestablish yourself, and still give ourselves a shot to win. And Dante just saying, I'm waiting for that. I know I'm in your mind right now. I know I'm Superman, but I got a little Professor X in me as well. Okay, just read the hell out of that and just yeet him, bro. That was crazy. Mad respects to them, man. They're going to go on to semis in a major way. That was crazy.
Yeah. And what a time to to save something like that, right? I mean, just letting certain things go into the enemy's team favors, in game 1 and game 2 can be, you can essentially cash out on that, right? Later on, when it's clutch time, when it's game 3, when it's game 5, and we're seeing that exactly. And even just opening up with an exciting match like that, so sick to see.
Oh, absolutely.
There it is, man. It's kind of crazy that we get high quality matches like that, and they're only best of 3. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Round 1, you got to earn your way. It's like the top 4 is always the best of 5. You got to earn your way to that in the Series E bracket. It's like an Evo bracket. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they didn't give you top 3. Yeah, you'll be lucky to get best of 5. Right? Your gyms had to work for it. Right? Not spoon feeding you like they do it these days. The spoon feeding. You got to work for that. So good stuff, man. Red team was on fire there, and I don't think we actually, Charles. I don't think we got a chance to see any Superman last week. So good to see somebody bust that character out and then having a major impact right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about Series E. I mean, especially at Pro Night. Obviously, we're going to have the sponsored teams with the partners, right? For every single bracket, but on top of that, there's going to be other new pro teams that rotate in and out just to keep that character variety there, but the skill remains the same. All amazing players at their own right and bringing a different character pool to the table as well. Oh, dang, is that The Rock?
Oh, man.
Do I see The Rock on screen?
It's about time that the Black Adam meant something. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Oh, man.
This is exciting. We saw some Black Adam last week, actually. Was really entertaining for sure. So not at all surprised to see this combination back here, Black Adam and Strife, taking on Arya and Velma. So definitely a lot of high-level characters right here. Black Adam, maybe a little bit of a newer addition along with Strife, of course. But I think at this point, pretty much everybody's acclimated to how to fight these characters. But just knowing how to fight them doesn't necessarily mean you'll be able to.
Oh, absolutely. And you got some great mix-up and reversal potential there coming from Black Adam, right? But not that time.
Back to DC,
bang.
But man, just all around a really phenomenal character, right? Has great movement. Kind of similar to what you'll see from Superman. Not to the extent, but of course you have the zoning tools to complement, and you have incredible combo game.
All right, we're seeing right now, obviously red team, very strong start, 2 points already put up. See Velma being that disruptive force that she can be, even playing that back line. A lot to deal with sometimes. You got Arya just so quick, man, truly living up to that assassin class title. The way she can operate and just take out stocks quickly.
And I think thinking back to last week, I believe Velma and, it was like Velma, Black Adam, Stripe were pretty popular, right? Batman was also pretty popular. Oh, but off the top of the ladder?
Yep.
That was nasty. Okay.
Yeah, the vertical pressure coming out from this team. One thing Velma does add, not a crazy amount of mobility, but you do have a bunch of support. And of course, that up air and that up attack, that light bulb is so powerful, so active, so large. And take huge advantage of that.
I like that. Velma just jumping right into the fray. Not afraid to get involved. Do you see the pressure being put on? And look at that. Just consistent strings of pressure. And Velma going to go ahead and just route that game in their favor. That was fantastic.
Dang, Ross got an idea right now, man.
Oh, sometimes you got to think big,
Ross is thinking big, man. He's thinking some big plays right now. And shout out to the skin. That's my favorite Velma skin.
That is a good Velma skin for sure. Ross definitely somebody who continues to kind of show off his character variety. We saw him playing a couple different characters last week, and now this time bringing out the Velma. So his pool definitely in pockets, definitely running deep.
I believe Black Adam was the main character we saw from Ross last week.
I think was it Bugs too?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Bugs. Yeah, a little bit of Bugs as well.
Is he still moving like Clark though? Is he still moving like Clark, man? I need answers, man.
I'm sorry.
I think he pulled a Henry Cavill, man. He's out.
I'm sorry, man.
Not the Henry.
I'm sorry, man.
Bring him back.
I'm sorry, man. It's all right, but
Man in Black.
He ain't moving like Clark anymore, but he's thinking like Velma, you know?
There you
He's
go.
thinking like Velma.
Okay, that's cool. I'll be moving though.
He ain't wrong. He ain't telling no lies, man. But you know what? You gotta go as you feel like it, the best benefits you can have for your team. And Ross definitely showing up. Again, the character variety and the Velma looked fantastic right there.
Yeah.
That was a great play all around.
Yeah, and even just knowing Ross personally, he it really excels in other fighting games with these zoner type characters. So I think Velma is a very good fit for him. You know, the classic, run down of a lot of these teams in Series E, or just a lot of meta teams, is usually have one frontline character, one backline character, being like a Velma or a Morty, right? And we've also seen 2 rushdown characters work in success, right? Like earlier in this round, we saw Stripe and Superman kind of get that rushdown, and you do get that benefit of being very aggressive off stage, right?
Yeah,
and I mean that's where a lot of KOs are going to be made, right? So when you can cover high with one and low with the other, and both of these characters are just super strong and high return like that instead of the Velma, then we can see a lot of different strategies come to here. But it looks like we're going to have a character switch here on the other side for blue team here. Shaggy online.
Okay, interesting.
Mr. Stability, man. Character is always kind of strong all throughout, you know what I mean? Very solid choice. Crazy combo game. Some of the best easily in this game. So you got to be careful if you're not aware of the combo routes and the mix-ups, because you can also lose points really, really.
Yeah, that's true. One thing, especially like, a couple times last week we saw like people give Shaggy like a lot of space, and he's able to, kind of empower and just get into that zone. Definitely hits a little bit harder. We definitely see lives and KOs kind of fill up the screen. So you got to be careful how much space you want to give Shaggy. And he is a character that can definitely rush you down, and as we're seeing, apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot harder for Ross on the Velma here, as we see, wow, the points just rack up already, and Ross getting taken out there. And again, Velma is going to struggle against some of these faster characters, right? Any assassin type can just fly through the air, and I mean, Velma, you do have that up air and that up attack to kind of stave off and have those great anti-airs, but especially Shaggy. Shaggy can be a rushdown character that pressures Velma so much and has the weight to back it up. Plus you have that side special in the air that's so good against Velma, because you're not coming in, vertically, you're coming in horizontally.
Oh, true. Yeah, very good point actually to note, kind of exploiting some of, the weaknesses that you said there of Velma. So we're also definitely going to have to be, aware of that and try and, stave them away, maybe from a distance. But that's one thing about Ross too, man. You mentioned he loves those zoners, but this guy, as you can see, he got no problem jumping into the fray. He get dirty and active with the best of them.
Yes, he definitely likes the box.
Facts.
I mean, initially a Superman main, right?
Oh, true, yeah.
So definitely want to throw some hands.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that was hands thrown.
Oh, no.
Sheesh.
What was Arya doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Some eyewitness.
Yeah, definitely.
I was eyewitness on the other side of the stage.
Channel 7.
She was writing the statement, right? You should have been swinging. I don't understand. Oh, wow.
I'm over here. What are you doing?
Oh, got him. Nice. That was insane.
Oh, yeah,
Good Lord. What a comeback that this red team is pulling off right now on match point. Trying to put something together. Shaggy, a little bit higher there, but still not shying too far away. Oh, got to be careful here.
Wait a minute, but the double KO is a factor here. Arya,
very true.
Very light character. Ross,
and weakened.
Yeah, and weakened here. Okay, I love the teleport. Just going to reset on this left side. Use the armor. Also using that ice to kind of stave off as a hazard there. Really great stuff. Going to be able to rack up a ton more damage and slow things down, because they got to be really careful here. Is that going to be it? That's going to be one. Nice. Trades for damage, and Arya's got to be Cinco. You got to be super evasive at this point.
Yeah, Arya definitely understands that.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Don't die 35.
Oh, wow. Huh?
That was just back and forth, and it was a bait and switch back and forth. And I love that situation there, because it looked like Ross was gonna, get KO'd at 35%. It was struggling right there, but actually the real target was Cinco.
That was really smart, actually, and kind of like, even for us as the cast, a little deception on the part of that squad as far as who the real target was there. But again, this guy kind of goes to show just good comms can definitely take you far. Obviously, kind of routing out that play, and it paid off big time for him. We got another game 3.
Yeah, man, and it's great too, because that's also what we saw in the previous set, right? We saw that from Dante, right? And then Stripe, like, being able to, at the last second, switch their target, right? In unison at a quick time. And the thing is, when you are getting pressured, especially in this game, it's so movement-based. Yeah. So in order to get away from the situation, you're going to try to dash back, right? Or kind of get away. But you do that, now you're in no position to help your teammate, and they recognize those situations. So really great eye there, great awareness to make that one happen and then close it out.
Yeah, the bait and switch there. And I mean, in that situation, just trying to come in and save your teammate, because like, oh dang, I don't want my teammate to actually just, give them the point at 35%. That's extremely low, and kind of using that situation and using your opponent's teammate as bait. And when you hit your opponent's teammate, you don't necessarily have to go for the follow-up. You can just use that however far they get hit, it's like, okay, that's how much time we have
Exactly,
to 2v1,
2v1.
especially if we're baiting them in.
Certainly one of the more entertaining things about MultiVersus is like your percentage, it's not about your percentage isn't the liability sometimes, it's your positioning, right? It's where they got you kind of cornered and pinned, and it does force out a lot of, abrupt plays from your teammate to kind of help you out, and then sometimes it ends up, oh, you came in, well, we were after you the whole time. Get the heck out of here, Kind of nuts how that works out, but I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, the team fundamentals, something that we don't see too often in these 1v1 scenarios, right? Either in the singles mode or in other fighting games where most of the time it is 1v1s. It is those team fundamentals, those moments where you can really get crafty with your win conditions. Your win conditions are bouncing all over the place. And usually in singles, your win condition is just, take out the opponent's lives or take out the opponent's health bar. But here, there can be so much more depth to your win conditions, right, as a team.
All right, so actually, Red Team did have the option to change characters here, but they're going to stick it out with the Arya-Velma combination. Obviously not deterred from the last game, which is good to see. So confidence still intact. We'll see how it does bode for them in this very important game number 3, because just off the first set we saw, we already know who's in losers bracket, so kind of pick your poison out which route you want to go.
Yeah, and last week it was actually Ross and Single that got double jeopardy by Costlix and Mirrorman, so definitely wouldn't want to see them tango in losers once again.
They're doing everything they can to stay out.
They're trying to survive out here.
This is not the Christmas gift I want.
Take it back, Santa.
Is that it? Yeah.
The trade?
Yeah, I love that trade.
You take mine, I'll take yours, and that's going to put Red Team up a point.
Yeah, and it was actually Shaggy that had the opportunity to get another trade back and forth there to even things up, but Blue Team is going to even things up nonetheless.
Yeah. Sitting here, 2 points apiece. I love the sit back here, but immediately, I love that Ross has been really proactive here. Now he's going to step back, of course, just kind of loop in some words, make sure he can get some good coverage there on the Arya, potentially get an opening there, get some good damage, or get an offstage situation.
Yeah, wow, he's finding some really good hits with these up airs.
Yeah.
For sure. On offense and defense. Okay. At that distance, man, covers all the stage.
Okay, the sandwich, going to cover that upper area. Not going to do too much here impactfully, but wait a minute. Is the up attack going to connect? No. Blue Team actually just forcing their way down with these hitboxes. Okay, the down air into the up air not going to connect. Is the up special up air not going to connect? Another up air connects here for a single, but not going to be enough. Shaggy, so heavy, still alive.
Shaggy is out. Yeah, Shaggy is living. 134. He is not trying to relinquish this life just yet. He's still not going to go.
Yeah, that should have been a point.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate side air coming out from Ross. They're actually saving Shaggy now at 164%. This should be a double.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, night.
There it is, man. That pie serving up all of them. Hold on now.
Arya's spinning on him.
Yeah.
Actually got the connection on both, and Ross had to speak a couple words on the
way.
You know what I'm saying?
A little sweet, use some sweet nothings, you know what I mean?
just in case if you thought you were gonna live.
Yeah, that was a convincing one right there for Red Team. You see why they did not elect to switch characters, still relying on that strategy. I love the zero honing in that Arya did to get that double KO to just kind of seal it away. Had him open positioning and did not hesitate to pull the trigger. So beautifully played in a dominant game 3 for them.
Yeah, and as we move on this bracket, again, that's the great thing. It's my favorite thing about this tournament with Pro Night. You don't gotta wait through the pools, you know what I mean, to get to the top 16 goodness or the top 32.
We're here.
It's Pro v Pro. I mean, it is Pro Night, right?
Yeah.
So Pro v Pro right off the rip here. So high octane matches right at the start here, and we've already opened up with 2 amazing game 3 sets. No, 2-0s to open things up, and very exciting adaptation from both sides here, and great character variety. Great job on Ross's end, just surviving the brutality that was the Shaggy Arya rushdown on the Velma there, and just and especially with Velma's recovery as well. It can be kind of tough sometimes when you get hit off stage, but Ross did a really good job of stabilizing. And even, again, with the Shaggy is such a good pick into Velma, in my opinion, just because of that horizontal rushdown and the weight to back it up too. It can be, Shaggy can stick around for a long time and get so much value off the charges, especially getting hit off stage, going for these long charges, and then coming back, being empowered with the charge rate.
Absolutely.
It can be so hard to deal with.
It kind of felt really, you mentioned, Velma can be a little lackluster sometimes having to recover, but in game 3 especially, it didn't feel like Ross was ever in a position where he had to really recover. Like at all points in time, you kind of felt like stage control was definitely on their side, and I feel like that was a big, big factor in them taking that so convincingly.
Yeah, absolutely. And even when you saw situations where he did have to recover, you noticed that he was just so quick with his great timings on these fastballs, right? And of course does that, gets underneath, and then when you're above Velma, you already know. That's some ideas I want to pitch you, right?
Some ideas I want to. I love the way you phrase things. This guy. Oh my goodness. Well, here we are. We are going into yet another fantastic round 1 matchup. Iron Giant making a debut here along with Velma. And yet again, we're seeing Arya and Bugs on the screen as well. Okay, so definitely some fan, yeah, I was going to say some fan favorite characters right now with the Arya and Bugs out. Oh my goodness.
And a lot of Velma tonight as well. Murphs on the new Velma.
Yep.
Tis the season, Skin.
No doubt about that. You'll recall this Iron Giant and Velma team actually winning Pro Night, the opening week, if I'm not mistaken.
Week number 1, yes.
So they, didn't have the best performance last week, but certainly eager to right that wrong. So we'll see what they can do in this first round for sure. Team Gas, though, not to be underestimated.
Going high, and I love that being covered by the Doom rockets, man. Or the Doom missiles.
Yeah, definitely the Doom missiles, man. Solid stuff there. Of course, you see red team up 1, Team Gas in a good spot. See what State Fair can do now.
Oh, wow.
1 on the board already. Gonna eat some bolts.
Yep, Arya, pretty lightweight. Can betray her, but here you go. Iron Giant, definitely a big target for sure. So he's gonna accumulate a lot of damage, but he kind of thrives off that too in a sense as well.
Yeah, if you've never seen this kind of archetype of Velma team, I mean, we've seen a little earlier in this bracket. Oh man, is that going to be a double? Wait, Iron Giant running out of fuel.
Wait a minute, Rocket.
Oh wow, had the burst to get through with the bolts there. Incredible recovery, but still on the receiving end, needs to recover. Goes for the walkling here. Arya, does get hit up.
Wow, solid timing, okay, and I love now Velma coming into play to make sure that you have a boys out here. The shots. Stay clear.
Yeah, everything cooking right now for Iron Giant. He has done a fantastic job of just making the most out of this life, and you can see offense trying to finish him off, getting a little too greedy, hand in the cookie jar, and Mama's there to punish.
And if you think Giant can't move because of his size, let me tell you.
Wrong.
Yeah, look at right now, Team State Farm just doing such an incredible job. And this is going to be the first time we're seeing Velma on a bruiser type team tonight. Usually, so earlier we saw Velma with those speedy assassin types, right? Now we're seeing Velma here with the Iron Giant. This is so good because when you go for that neutral B, that megaphone, well, your teammate, really easy to hit. So you're pretty much always going to get that target off there, and then you can go ahead and just speak those words, and the word bubbles will head right into Iron Giant. So that is the base strategy here for this team that just make it so strong.
Yeah, just such a, again, like a credit to how versatile and strong Velma can be. Like, you put her with any team, regardless. Try to make it big. That could have been impactful. They need a big play, and they got it right there. So match point for both teams. Velma got to be careful, though. 112.
Dang, Velma got to be careful, but Velma going in.
Yeah, right? Velma don't care.
I'll give her that.
Mysteries need to be solved.
Someone's got to do it.
Fear is not a part of this team. That is for damn sure.
Yeah. Okay, we got the bolts up and rockets.
Right in me. Yes.
Yeah.
Take my steed.
Yep.
I mean, that's such a good strategy, especially if you're in that KO percent, right? It's just going to be harder to get to you. And look at this. Wait. Bugs was in that juggle situation. Look at this Velma trying to stay alive. It's still alive. Wow.
Kudos to Velma just surviving.
Excited enough.
Oh, wait, the mix-up.
Wow, this is such a crazy scramble, especially on the right here. Iron Giant trying to get more of these hits here. And wow, just look at this. Iron Giant leading the charge. Yeah, and you just have to get through the bodyguard. It slices through.
Yeah.
Wow. At the maybe like at the last moment to kind of squeeze that in there. Especially considering like those higher percentage on the red team, they're able to seal it away. But you got to give Velma a lot of credit for how long she survived. Just smart enough to kind of become, piloting that Iron Giant mech and to give themselves a couple seconds, additionally to keep things going. But man, I mean, that was well earned. That was well earned on Blue. That was hard.
They made it so difficult, right? Yeah. So, I mean, just getting through the Iron Giant there, great stuff, and prioritizing the Velma as well after getting the hit on both of them with that up special, incredible stuff. And even with a little festivity, I think almost everyone coming out with the festive skins
for
the
skins on.
So
yep, absolutely.
You got to do it, man.
They got a lot of good ones, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Tis the season. Looking good. But yeah, another great matchup to open things up. Again, you just understand like how much it means for these teams to just, let me just get past this first round, man. It's just every single person that you're going up against is absolutely in that killer category for sure. But not disappointing at all. Again, seeing some good stuff.
And I mean, now we're seeing the Iron Giant as well. I think this is the only Iron Giant team that we currently have.
In this bracket, I
this
think
bracket,
so,
if I'm
yeah.
not-
Unless somebody wants to pull out the pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And Iron Giant used to be a little bit more prevalent in the meta, had some changes done, but still relevant force in the meta. And you saw, I love Velma getting into Iron Giant as almost like a defensive mechanic, right? That was really interesting. Never seen someone use that mechanic like that before.
Yeah.
So just really the creativity shining on both sides, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's good to see that we're seeing those mechanics kind of come to the surface, right? Because for a lot of times we've seen, like even when you have Gizmo, right? You have the ability to do
Gizmo
the
is another
backpack.
character that can do it.
Like, no one's really used that to its optimal capacity, let alone like actually use it for the most part. Right. So to actually see it on full display and really be utilized in clutch situations just goes to show there's so many more intricacies in those team mechanics.
Definitely.
Yeah. Learn, man. So, but we're gonna go in this now, going into game 2 here. State Fair going up against Team Gas.
Yeah, man.
Back again.
100%. As we said, you know, it's got, you know, if your team State Fair, just like, okay, man, I want to get back to my winning ways. I won the opening week and was not able to find that similar success last week, and then we just lost that first game. So definitely going to apply a lot of pressure on their side, right? Meanwhile, Team Gas, they're just like, look, it's all in the name, baby, okay? Because we don't stop. As you can see, look at this pressure right here, just continuing to mount. They are just so efficient.
Yeah, but look at this, already in the triple digits. If you're Iron Giant, that's not too much of an issue here, but you're kind of getting to that breaking point. But wait a minute, you can get those KOs extremely early. Arya, at 100, the chase down. Okay, Arya is going to escape, get the reset here, trying to slow things down, but right now it is blue team actually that is stepping on that gas pedal.
Yeah.
The slight.
Wow.
Man.
What an answer right there. Definitely thought that up air from Bugs was going to seal it away, but no, Iron Giant, big time interruption.
Okay, the mystery machine online here. Oh, it's going to get beat up, instantly. And in that situation, if you just don't have control of the area, the mystery machine does take a little bit of time to activate, right? So you want to make sure there's a good amount of distance between you and your opponent, and even your teammate that can cover, right, in that situation. But not going to pan out too much. Not too big of a deal here. Even footing, but I mean, actually, blue team is actually up 2-1.
Yeah. He's in a really strong spot right
Really
now.
good spot.
Actually, Arya
Great
so
dash.
close.
Nothing to get there.
That is definitely not the spot she's looking to be in. Way too lightweight of a character for some of these situations. Just you see that from the other side of the stage, just get absolutely launched. The response right now from the blue team looking
Get caught.
See you later. See you later from deep.
Wow. The amplifier.
We hit those.
Yeah, we definitely do.
And it's crazy because that wasn't even Velma getting the snipe, right?
The amplifier, bro.
It's crazy. And I mean, that was such a great job from Iron Giant. Actually, the one before, the third KO was actually Iron Giant. The speech bubbles were going to the right, or the megaphone was going to the right, and dodged to the left on the other side of the player of red team because they thought, oh, okay, like you're on the right side, it's fine. Actually, I'm going onto your side. So really great stuff. And again, that's just gonna come with the experience of having a Velma on your team. You can actually control the megaphone as well, so you can aim it up or down, or use your dodges and reposition yourself to go ahead and get those megaphone snipes. And it is gonna be empowered as well. So really, really great stuff. Showing off what makes that team so strong at a very base strategy level is those megaphones. You're going to be able to line them up. It's so easy, again, to hit your partner because Iron Giant takes up practically the entire screen. So Iron Giant's going to have a lot of shots at that scenario.
100%. All right. I mean, you lose that first game, you want to have a good response. Well, that was a dominant one for Clueless. For sure, like his squad definitely looking good. Him and Meth, again, when you won one of these tournament brackets already, you want to get as close as you can to another opportunity. So staying in the winner's side, very important for them. They got one more game to try and get that done to secure a spot in the semis. But as we've seen, Team Gas, they're not going to roll over. They got kind of railroaded on that last game, but I got a feeling game 3, man, could go down to the wire.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see the adaptations around that megaphone because to your point, a lot of mix-ups, right? We didn't just see the standard, shoot megaphone at Iron Giant and call it a day, right? They really were moving around that, recognizing that people are going to key in on Iron Giant because, again, he takes the entire screen. And because of that, you're so focused on this big object, you don't see this little girl in the back, shouting some words at you until it hits. So really phenomenal stuff there.
Reminds me of my little cousin.
Yeah.
She be talking that trash.
Too much trash.
Let's get it. Big game 3. Switching here to Trophy's Edge. So a bit of a change in scenery. See if that helps them out.
The double platforms, they're moving too, man.
Yeah. Good up air, another up air. Trying to go for top. Not going to get that nair to close it out.
Okay, but the trap there, I like that. And I mean, there's so many times where you can get those 2v1 scenarios. Whoa! Big hit here. Already getting sent up. Oh, another hit, but Bugs fighting back here.
I like that, Bugs being that aggressive down there to get out of that situation.
Yeah. In those situations, you cannot be afraid, right? Because Iron Giant is banking on that and then get an easy catch there. But whole opportunity here. Caught him lacking.
Oh,
wow,
my
gosh. What is the ground?
3 seconds of hit stun.
Yeah, that
3 whole seconds.
What the hell, that Tempur-Pedic? Like, hey, stand up.
Actually, just disgusting way to just dismantle 2 lives. Getting themselves a very clean and strong win. And look at that, they are already working on maybe just the next ones here. They've really found their rhythm and stride, and then right now Team Gas may be running out of it because they got no answers at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, Neff is...
Gas prices are pretty high right now, man.
True?
Yeah,
Come on, Joe.
I mean... Give me that mic.
It's Joe.
Right there, baby, it's going down right now. But again, the solid opening from Blue Team. They're trying to ride this wave of momentum. Doing a pretty good job at it. Arya's got to be terrified right now, even though with that higher percent, still finding areas to swing and attack. It's that dagger on IG.
Yeah, and Meth is doing such a great job with this backline Velma. Almost feels untouchable at this point, but up and over, and just as I say it, is the red team going to line up the double KO? No, the bolts come out here for Iron Giant.
Yeah, good stuff here. Gonna be able to stall, get some more mileage on this life.
Oh, wow, okay. Just actually kind of disengaging in that situation, and this is very, very scary. And that's
I'm telling you, every time they're caught lacking, you're looking at Iron Giant and you're not paying attention. That girl's speaking to you.
Meth threading the needle there. There was so many different obstacles that Meth could have hit, but hit the one that really mattered. It was Bugs in the back line at that KO percent. So great job just sealing that one out. And, you know, with Iron Giant, the highs can be highs and the lows can be low, right? So especially when you have an Iron Giant on your team, even if you have that KO advantage, if you have that point advantage, you know, one string combo 2v1, you can rack up Iron Giant to just so much damage and even get the KO if you're nice enough with it. And Team Gas was definitely nice enough with it. So really, really great stuff there from the blue team, just closing it out.
No doubt about it, man. Great game number 3, not disappointed. And that double KO at the start with Iron Giant, as we all lost our minds for that right there was the tone setter. They kind of capitalized off of that to really take care of business in that game 3. Take control from the start and just not let it go.
Yeah, it's just good to see some Iron Giant play, man. We've seen quite a bit of nerfs coming around that character, and we've seen some people get a little bit flustered, right? Some of these mains are unsure if they want to stick with the big guy.
It's easy to abandon ship.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, of course, Clueless holding it down and really showing us some more kind of the team dynamics that IG can really participate in. Both as being this huge wall and, of course, being able to jump in as well and utilize them as a mech, the missiles, etc. Just phenomenal play all around.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to toss it over to Yeso real quick, just so he can let us know what he was thinking about all these wonderful matches.
Thanks, gents. Great start to the bracket there. 3 matches in. Of course, 1 more to go in winners round 1, and then we jump right into the winners side semifinals. We just finished up there with Meth and Clueless taking the win up against Jan and Greeted, and that was awesome. EE and the boys popping off in the next studio over on that double KO to start off game 3, and man, Clueless's Iron Giant just looking so damn clean all through that set. Started a little shakier. Jan and Greeted looking really good in game number 1, but just feels like Meth and Clueless settled in big time in game 2 and really pushed that momentum into game 3 and dominated from that point onward, and that's a big win for them. Of course, Meth and Clueless, they were our winners in week 1 and really kind of faltered last week. I believe they finished 1 and 2, lost their winners round 1 set. Were able to get the losers round 2, but then ended up falling out at that point in the bracket. So they're looking to bounce back here after not as good of a performance a week ago, and that's the kind of start you're looking for. Of course, their next set won't get any easier, but they've got to feel good about that one. Ross and Cinco go as well. If you'll remember, they had a rough start to the season, bounced back and looked a lot better last week. They also looked good in that set up against Martoons and Rams. And credit to Martoons and Rams doing a good job. They end up losing the set, but those those last 2 games, they really made Ross and Cinco Go earn every stock that they got. Really just being slippery at those higher damage percentages and doing a good job of really making them come out, play a little riskier, and having to earn those stocks to finish off those games. So hoping that we could see Martoons and Rams get something going on the loser side of the bracket, because I thought they played, honestly, a pretty tight set there up against the Aegon boys there. So looking forward to more from them. Of course, the other set we saw, we kicked it off. It was Mikante, Mikokoro, and Dante up against Mirman and Kosalix. And these round 1 winners side matches continuing to plague here. Mirman and Kosalix 2 weeks in a row. They're dropping down to the loser side of the bracket. Of course, it's another 2-1, so we have gone the distance in all 3 sets so far. But Mirman and Kosalix just creating more work from themselves without being able to get these early wins in the bracket. So they will have to make the long run through the loser side if they want to top that 3rd place finish that they had from last week. So it will be Mirman and Kosalix versus Martoons and Rams as one of those losers round 1 sets. We'll have to see which one comes out of that. Of course, we're getting ready though to jump into those winner semifinals, but that last set here on the winners side of round 1 will be K7 squad up against the Mr. Men. So those 2 will match up. The winner of that is up against Meth and Clueless. That rounds out winners semifinals. And then of course it is Dante and Mikokoro up against Ross and Cinco Go in the other winners semifinal. So that's how everything shakes out on the bracket right now. But definitely all 3 of those matches very entertaining. Some good highlights in there. Love the players delivering here. And you know, of course, we're hoping to go out, as I said at the top of the show, on a high note with a really tightly contested bracket here and a lot of fun games. And I would say that's exactly the kind of start that I want to see if we're really going to go out with a banger here before we head on a bit of a holiday break. So absolutely love to see that. I think we're going to head back over to the casters though. Bam, Charles, and EE ready to get back into the fun. So gents, take it away.
All right, always appreciate the homie Yeso keeping us up to date with everything going on from the red room over there. That's what I like to call it, the red room. It's the blue room, you know what I'm saying? But hey, holding it down for sure, the homie. Yeah, no sir. Round 1 has 1 more winners match to determine who will all be taking part in semis, which we'll see obviously momentarily. But yeah, that's last round of round 1. I mean, everything so far, guys, has been immaculate. You know what I'm saying? We've seen some really good game number 3s, just some really good play overall, and some good character diversity. Again, a lot of these teams just really kind of comfortable, even some of them settling in on some different characters and options to kind of apply to.
Yeah, like we said earlier as well, all these players adapting to some of the new changes on this patch, right? So it's also another thing to keep in mind. We haven't seen too much players switch off their characters because of the patch. I feel like most players are kind of just adapting, right? And I think that's something that Player First does a fantastic job at. You know, they'll hit some characters, but not to the point where it's like, all right, well, I'm switching, right?
Yeah, and I think this is, again, a great representation of, a lot of times people will see patch notes and they look themselves, they're like, oh my gosh, they're so tunnel vision on their own character.
Right.
Like, my character got this, nerf, 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 but you got to look at it holistically, right? Where's everyone falling into place now? And you can see that a lot of people, they're being a little bit more reserved when they're swinging, right? But we're still seeing a lot of attacks. We're still seeing a lot of great aggression, and it's being done through their movement overall. And I think that's a beautiful thing to see, right? You see at that level where you're seeing more of that kind of footsie dynamic go through, and you know, whether you're on the ground or if you're in the air, love to see it.
Yeah, I gotta say, just from this very first round of winners, the most popular character award goes to Velma for sure for this bracket. We didn't see as much Velma last week, but this week we're seeing a lot more Velma. Velma did get buffed overall. Got the dodge into the up attack on the ground, and as she slides forward, they actually took that away and now gave it back to her. So Velma kind of back at the same spot she was last time. But here is the world's greatest detective, of course. That's the title for Bruce, but Velma also a great detective as well.
No doubt about that, man. It's Mystery Incorporated for a reason, okay? I keep saying it. Fred wasn't solving a damn thing, okay? It was all Velma, all right?
The carry.
Don't get it twisted, man. But this is the team that won last week. K7 and Legendary having a rather legendary performance. Even though they did get reset, they were able to clutch it up and take care of business. So this has definitely got to be probably the favorite team for this bracket. But perhaps, this Shaggy Harley combination can throw him through a little bit of a loop.
Yeah, man, it's so funny just seeing, we all know about the changes and kind of the hit towards some of the Batman movement, and yet K7 is speed running around this entire stage. It is crazy to see.
It is insane, bro. Absolute insane player for sure. really just kind of makes Batman still look like, what nerfs?
Yeah. What's
essentially.
that?
Exactly.
Contingencies on that.
Gotta have it for the whole cast for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. Up in the air. You don't want to be up in the air against a character like Bruce because
double?
of that
Okay.
up special,
no.
the double up. But can you get the finish? No. It looks like Shaggy is going to survive, but at 121% on the board here.
Yeah, very, very close there for Shaggy. I do love the fact that they actually, Legendary and K7 came together really quick to go for the edge guard and give each other armor so they can pressure on the edge in that situation and not really deal with Harley. Just phenomenal awareness.
Again, we're just seeing this is much like we saw last week. K7's ability to just
Foot dive.
be such a menace on offense and defense. Really just kind of frustrate opponents trying to find that KO, and he is the last person who's going to give it to you too easily. Look at that, still surviving. Great dodge and just switch it back and forth. And that smoke bomb come out.
Alive. And this is what we gave K7 so much praise for last week, was the survivability, was the movement on this Batman. Look at this.
152?
Finally.
One of the lightest characters in the game.
You
bro.
wouldn't know about watching him play, I'll tell you that much.
No.
That is not something you want to have Batman living at those percentages. If you're red team, you definitely want to take it out much sooner than that.
Yeah, don't be mistaken. This isn't the Velma Bruiser team, all right?
Correct.
This is the Velma speed character team, but K7 making this character look like a bruiser with just the high percentages he's able to execute on with this character here. And this is actually, Harley is a character we saw a lot of last week, but this is the first time we're actually running into the Harley this week.
Oh my goodness, bro. I just want to say Legendary was so good. 140, 141%. So good at just playing off stage and stalling and then coming and picking and choosing when to get involved back on the stage. And you see it resulting in a game point. Just absolute obliteration on that team's part.
Dang, man, world's greatest detectives, they're like festive skins? Nah. Astronaut and samurai armor.
Yes, I came for business.
Forget clues, man. They're looking for a challenge. Man.
Can I find
Way they play, man. I'm sorry. No disrespect.
Where are they?
Santa who?
They are different out here right now. This is crazy. Great opening game for last week's champs, man.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, the best Batman skin in the game.
Oh, free. Not even
Free.
close. Not even close.
Come on, that's
Not even
easy,
close.
bro. He got that from Raj
Yeah,
Al Ghul
I've been
himself,
waiting for
man.
that one. I've been waiting.
The first time we saw that was actually in closed alpha, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, they had that available in closed alpha. Yeah,
That's
and
nuts.
now finally bringing it back. I was so excited when they finally brought it back. I was like, yes, finally.
About time, man.
Such a goated skin.
It's so good.
And on a goated team right
Yeah.
now, and we'll see if K7 and Legendary can run it back, right? They were the champions, they were the winners last week. Not in a dominant fashion, they were able to get reset in that grand finals, but were able to close it out. I believe it was game 9.
Yeah, because they played
9 games total.
Yeah, they
in
played
grands.
a lot.
It was a
in
lot of
grands,
games
for sure. They got it done on the second set in game number 4. So kudos to them. Having that ability too. Getting resetted can really kind of shake you a little bit, but having that mental fortitude to just kind of wade through it and continue your winning ways. That's not easy, you know what I'm saying? So they're coming into this bracket obviously understanding it's going to be a challenge, but we've already shown we can do it. Once you have proof of concept, the rest is just like consistency.
Yep, execution.
Yeah, and Legendary right there, great confirm. Can be a little hard to line up there. The up special, bounce off the wall or off the ground into the up air, right? So, Velma got everything unlocked.
Damn,
Velma
bro.
got the camera. Velma got the lighting. She's ready to stream.
I'll tell you what, if it's on Twitch, she can make some money, man. Let's go. Nothing wrong with that, Velma.
Okay.
I think Velma would be a good stream.
Yeah,
I think so.
Velma would be a good stream.
Yeah.
Streaming out the mystery machine. That'd be something different.
Whoa.
What do you mean? Like think about going from spot to spot, IRL streaming,
That
solving
would be
mysteries.
kind of crazy.
That'd be kind of hype.
kinda be
That'd be
crazy.
I
hype.
like that.
I'd subscribe.
Of course you would. We know that part.
On to game 2. We're taking it to the Batcave. This is what was very interesting last week. Is they would have a lot of matches actually on Batcave. A lot of people would take them to Batcave, despite this being obviously the home turf for Batman, and they would struggle in some instances. But I think it was actually a game 4 in set 2 that they won on Batcave to secure the title. So if we're able to get rid of some of those woes, we'll see if Red Team can find a little bit of success with this counter pick.
K7's out here, bro.
He really is.
And I love that K7 switch is like, oh, Batcave? We getting a little into the animated series, you know what I'm saying? We're taking it back.
Yeah, do it for Conroy real quick, man.
There we go.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gonna set up here. Just trying to get the footing, but it looks like Shaggy. Okay, gonna use that empowered side special there. It's a big whiff, and you already have so much damage racked up. If you're the red team, you can only take so much more in like a stray down. Like, when you get to the point in MultiVersus where a stray hit's gonna get the KO, that's where you're in big trouble here. And red team is definitely at that point.
All right, you handle right, I'll handle left, okay?
Synchronized.
Yeesh.
So good.
Blue team not taking too much damage as well. Off stage, using the down airs to stall is Velma. Ooh, and that is such a common scenario where Velma is off stage or near the wall and uses the up air to protect herself. But Harley's down air got a little bit more range.
Oh, I speak of,
Protect your neck right now. Match point already for blue team. They are yet again just finding ways to dominate
and the
opponents.
stacks. How to be careful here. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was kind of abrupt. Like,
well, the first 2-0 is going to be on the fourth game here. Of course, the first 4 rounds is going to be the first rounds of winner in general for the entire bracket here. And, you know, the last one of the 4 is going to end in the 2-0. Nothing less, I mean, not too surprising from our champions from the last week, though. Very aggressive. Yeah. Very aggressive start.
Definitely picking up from their winning ways of last week. No doubt, and they have not lost a step. If anything, you could argue they've gained one just with how aggressive and proficient they were in that opening round. The 2-0, as you said, Charles, the first 2-0 of the night. And honestly, if they keep up that pace, it might not be the last.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we'll see if they can continue the run here. And they did such a great job last week. I don't think anyone was ready for K7 and Legendary. But this time, you got the target on your back, right?
You do.
I mean, we talked about this Series E, and the main team that had the target on their back was Mirrorman and Costlix. And they've definitely been targeted and beaten a lot.
Yeah,
this is now, like, I think last week it was round 1 they were put into losers,
so in their first
no, that
was the previous week, I think.
Yeah, previous
because they
week,
went like top 4, then they got top 3 last week, and now they're starting off in losers already. So for them to make it back to like that top 3, maybe even grand finals, definitely going to be a very harrowing journey for sure. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I know Yeso will keep us updated on how those losers matches are progression. But it's all about the winners right now, man. We've finished our first round 4 of winners, and we got semis right around the corner.
Yes.
Still going to be best of 3, but the competition just continues to elevate as we go through these rounds.
Yeah, man, and that's just one of the beautiful things when it comes to Series E, right? Where you have these players consistently day in, day out. This is what starts like, okay, now this is serious, right? Yep. Now we have opportunities here. This is like access for people to get sponsorship, all these things, right? So people are playing their hearts out, of course, and you can see it. And damn, we've had some quality play already.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're gonna keep having more quality play. The quality is just gonna go higher and higher as we reach into the semi side of things, which I believe we are lining up the matches right now for you guys. So I mean, it's going to be hard thinking about who is going to prevail in these semis matches. There are so many close calls in the first round, right? So many game 3 scenarios, except that very last one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's honestly a good thing, right? It's a mark of like, kind of lining up for a very good set to take place. A lot of those teams who do go to game number 3s when they're able to clutch it out and get the victory, feeling good about that. You match them up against each other, good things are going to happen. But we'll be right back to see those good things. So we're going to take a short break, short little intermission. We'll see you on the other side for more Series E in just a bit.
for MultiVersus. We're going to continue on the bracket, the winner semi side of things. So super excited to get into that. The first round of winners. A lot of exciting matches, a lot of game threes except one. K7 and Legendary kind of scooping that one up 2-0 to bring us into the winner semi side of things, which I'm really excited to get into.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, obviously, we said it at the top of the show, man. When you have a bracket this stacked right from the jump, you're going to get good matches from round one to finish, and it did not disappoint. Only seeing one game end in a 2-0. So, semis are still going to be contested for best of three. So I'll be eager to see if we see any 2-0s in that, or will that kind of like that best of three trend continue for the majority of teams. I know if you're a fan of Legendary and K7, you're probably not thinking so, because those guys, coming in with the dominant presence in that previous game that we just saw. But semis, again, you're kind of up in the competition level, so you never know what can happen.
No, absolutely. And it's been pretty interesting that we've seen such a crazy, the character selection, right? We've still seen a focus on Stripe. I know a lot of people are saying that character may be contention for best character right now, honestly.
Really?
Dang, okay, Stripe.
Yeah, even with all the nerfs, they felt like the nerfs were not nearly enough to really address what makes that character so strong. And it's true, the character is just very strong, very, very good at just getting a lot of these points really early because of the offstage game, right? And just general coverage too. I mean, even Sawblade too, just take up space in terms of platforms. Very, very phenomenal move in tandem with this air. But, we did see some Iron Giant come into play as well. We saw a lot of Arya and, of course, a lot of Velma. So you're really seeing some of these characters be really the center point of a lot of these team comps. So it's interesting to see these characters flourish and see what people have next when we go up now in winter semis.
Yeah, almost how I feel like where Velma is such a good all-around backliner, I feel like Stripe is such a good all-around frontliner that also has very good backline options.
Exactly.
Like the Sawblade, the gun, and that kind of character can enable where it's like, okay, let's just double down on two frontliners, right? Where you have the Stripe rush down and the edge guards are so threatful because of all options Stripe is able to cover along with Stripe's teammate. It just makes sense. And again, even Velma, a character that can struggle, like some of these zoner type characters where, Stripe's just flying through the air with these side airs, right? Just really great mobility on the character and really great hitboxes to go in with that.
100%, man. I mean, again, you pair him up with the right player, the right, combination, the right character. You obviously see good things happen and some good representation of that character. Along with Velma's, too, is one thing that we've really kind of highlighted throughout this bracket early on within those first 4 round 1 matches that we were able to see. So eager to get into semis and see exactly who's going to be matching up against who, what characters will be duking it out. And, will Stripe continue to be that menace that we've kind of grown to love and I'm sure some opponents hate?
Oh, yeah. For sure. And even, even Velma showing very, very huge relevance throughout this tournament specifically. Obviously, the sample size is a lot smaller than a humongous bracket, so by no means it's like Velma's completely dominating everything here. I mean, last week we didn't see as much Velma, but this week seeing a little bit more uptick of Velma.
Especially after that patch, what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, giving back Velma that dodge into the up attack is really big for getting that sliding up attack. It kind of just gives Velma just that little bit of mobility to get to where she wants to be and get that up air or get that up attack. And the up attack is so good at especially straight hits. When you want a straight hit KO or just comboing into that move, it's so good.
Yeah, it's just great landing trap option. Overall, just wonderful anti-air. So got to respect it.
All right, well, let's go on to the semis. Here we go. Actually opening up with last week's champs again, K7 and Legendary. Taking on, this is actually fun because they're taking on Meth and Clueless. So it's a battle of both previous week's champions, right?
Yeah.
So they're meeting right now in winter semis. So we'll be eager to see who's going to come out on top of this one. Both Series E champions of the week in their own regard. Let's see who's the champ of champs right now.
True, and already, of course, we got that back line coming from both sides with Velma. So it really is going to be on the onus on the front lines here. Had an opportunity there on K7, not going to make it, but now we're going to set up shop, cover some space here with the orb. Hopefully no one falls into it. That's going to be an easy point.
Oh, definitely. How they handle this, obviously. Velma shouldn't be a surprise for anybody. The Iron Giant, though, how will they handle this big body? So imposing in their previous rounds. Oh, nice. Okay, picking aggressive options to get back to the stage.
Yeah, and we're seeing two sides of the coin with the Velma team here. So there's one Velma team that's using that front line big bruiser, right? Even to the extreme of Iron Giant, not even the Superman. okay, Iron Giant is going to live through that. That's so huge here. And of course, the other side of the coin for the Velma team is, Velma with that speedster type character, right?
Did you see Batman? Like, he just took control. Jeez, that was nuts. Great play on there. Oh my goodness, we're taking a lot of damage. This Iron Giant,
still kicking.
Very impressed with the fact that he has yet to eat a KO up until that point, but it is a trade of points there to keep everything even. But this Batman in those triple digits has got to be a little bit more careful on some of these approaches.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Clueless will take that one every day of the week.
Yep.
And their opportunity here is just moving round. They have a 2v1 situation, trying to go high, not going to get it. The body, wow, dude, looking at 3 points here on match point. Let's see if Clueless can close this out.
Yeah, and I mean, the double KO win condition is not so much online for the blue team here. Just got to rack up a little bit more damage on the red team if you want that win condition. And right now, kind of brute forcing their way through. But the bolts are down here, so if you want an opening, now's the time to strike if you're the blue team. Put Iron Giant to the corner here, taking quite a bit of damage. The separation is done, but not enough damage.
Okay, I do like K7 being evasive. He's sneaking in, trying to pick these moments. Nice, they got Velma off to the left side. This could be big and smart to kind of go back and help the teammate. Not going to result in getting a KO. They are still down a considerable amount. That's going to help for sure. Match point on both sides.
Yeah, Meth has to do an incredible job here. 72% onto this Velma, and that is going to be enough. Wow. He stays alive for the Iron Giant to get the opening.
Yeah, that's big. They're kind of saying, yeah, you won last week, but you didn't play us.
Very true. Very true.
They did not encounter each other last week in the bracket. So great stand right there from Team State Fair.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing about a lot of these teams, right? They weren't able to really have a great showing. Very first week, they were able to win. Second week, didn't have the greatest showing, but third week could come out swinging, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all these teams are so close in skill level because of just we're at the tippy top, right?
Yeah.
And when we get to the tippy top, a lot of this will come down to, who has momentum, who's playing those like very specific scenarios just the right way, or even character matchups.
Yeah, who's going to finish their plate? And I mean, you even saw right there, right? K7 had an opportunity on the side, right? Trying to go after Meth, and then very last second, decided to switch his gaze, went over on the right side, and I do believe that if he was actually able to close it out on Meth, that probably could have been a very different game, potentially with K7.
Very possible.
Actually closing that one out. So I think that was a misstep there, and Clueless and Meth just took advantage of it.
Yeah. And I mean, it can be a little harder. It depends on the positioning for Batman to get against Velma, right? The up air is just so hard and to get through if you're Batman, right? A lot of Batman's edge guards does involve just getting the down air or getting that down special. But if you're able to get the charged up Sair, that's also a very good option. Can be pretty hard, or line up the battering. So maybe an opportunity missed here for K7, but always going to be able to have that run back here in this game too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that big body, that Iron Giant does present, definitely kind of a different look from some of the teams that we have seen K7 and Legendary have to fight, especially last week. So they're going to have to kind of adapt to that, understand like, yeah, we can accumulate a lot of damage on this Iron Giant, but we're not getting those KOs as quickly as we're accustomed to. Meanwhile, he's surviving and kind of knocking us out in some situations at like 70 or 80. So it is a different, field of vision that you have coming into this. So it's really going to kind of test their adaptation right now.
Yeah. And if you cannot seal the deal against Iron Giant, we talk all the time about how light K7 is on that Batman.
Yep.
That's where you're really going to start seeing the reversals. Iron Giant, easy to smack around, easy to deal some damage, but can sometimes be a little tougher to get the KO on. And I mean, just because of how large Iron Giant is, you're going to have large hitboxes with it, right?
That's true.
Right. One mishap and then it's all over.
Yeah, man, you understand that too. And this is about that right percent. If you're Batman, we've seen K7 obviously sort of fire to some nutty percentages before. Got to pay all the respect to that Iron Giant. They're doing that, but still, look at that. Able to catch Velma, put a point on the board, and finally, though, some retaliation. But look at that. They get the KO, and then immediately you left yourself open for half a second, and you just see it's still down a point.
Yeah, Stay Fair is eating right now. This is definitely what they want to see on their side. Looking pretty good, even in percentages, too.
Yeah, and unless they find an earlier KO, right? I mean, an early KO, quote unquote, on Iron Giant could be in that, just the 100% marker, but they're not really getting those openings. Iron Giant is always able to just get to that 150 mark and pass. And look at that, the bolts coming down with that. Such a safe option.
It really is. Yeah, smart stuff too. Just interrupting a lot of that pressure, those pressure strings not mounting to as much. Oh, but great catch from K7. So he got on the other side of him too to get that punish. That was really slick, making plays when his team really needs it.
And that really was the similar situation we saw at the end of that game 1, right? So I love that he was able to kind of go back to the drawing board and actually find a successful approach there.
Yeah.
Okay, but look at this Iron Giant still at this very high percent and almost connecting into the upper, but it's actually K7 that gets the up special to seal it out.
That was really good. I mean, he was only up there because I think Velma smacked him to that point. So for him to
Thanks for the boost.
Yeah, had the wherewithal to capitalize off that situation. Very smart stuff.
Okay, let's see here. I mean, back and forth trading, but now it is the blue team that has the KO lead, has the point lead here, but the percentages are getting higher and higher on this frail Batman. And along with Velma already sitting at 88%, we could have back-to-back KO being a win condition here for the red team if they can get some kind of control in neutral. Look at this. I love the smoke bomb just controlling so much, just really neutralizing some of these projectiles.
Oh, man, wow, what a hit too, but not gonna work out this time. And now we're going for the chase here.
I think Velma knows too. I mean, this is what Legendary does so well. He can definitely make the most, even at these high percentages. Knows how to stay back, and K7 knows how to end it. We got a game 3 coming through.
Man, stop playing with the bolts, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah. That was such a great chase down from K7, just reading that dodge like up and left there and just getting the complete
Look at that
chase down.
damage accumulated, 446.
Oh,
My
yeah.
God. K7 was moving.
Yeah, if you ever get that quest for the damage, you always want to play against Iron Giant.
Oh yeah, 100%.
True.
Yeah. And definitely don't play Superman.
Yeah, you'll never get that.
It won't be around long enough.
Rain dog?
It's tough. It's tough for sure. But great response right there, 100% from Legendary and K7. A battle of former past week's champions not disappointing us in semis. We're going to have a great game number 3. And one of these teams going to advance to maybe, put themselves in a better position to capture another title by getting the winners finals.
Yeah, K7 really capitalizing in like 2 major moments with the up special, right? Getting the Iron Giant after getting hit and then getting the chase down on Velma later on for the last point there. So really clutch stuff to K7, but really, skidding on by because even that game 2 looked in favor of the Iron Giant and the Velma, right?
It did, but he found a way. And one of the great things I love about him is he has such a oppressive offense, right?
Yeah.
But one of the great things too is he will step back mid-range, right, when times of need, and kind of sit back, throw a batarang, move around, threaten with his speed, but really not do much until he's like, okay, now I know what I need to do here. I see their defensive habit, I see their movement, I'm going to go for pressure, I'm going to go in for the kill. And that's exactly what he was able to do there to close that one out.
Yeah, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. We'll see how this game 3 unfolds because even one of the main issues I feel like they're having is, okay, the Iron Giant, it's a little tough to get these KOs at earlier percents, but they found a way through it, right? Sometimes you just knock up the Iron Giant and you don't necessarily have to tunnel on getting the KO on the Giant. Eventually, the Giant will, get KO'd, but if you're able to create space between Giant and Velma and go for the teammate and go for that backline Velma, a little bit more frail, and get these KOs at earlier percents on the Velma, that can be the key to victory here.
Yeah. Absolutely agreed with you on that one, man. So yeah, as you said, game number 3 definitely going to give us quite the show. And finally, Cromulus making its first appearance of the day, at least on the stream. So let's see if this different stage can make that much of a difference. Game number 3, let's get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to the throne room. I know that was a new stage that was added. Looks sick.
I wish.
Soon, man, soon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness, Batman said, forget the throne room. I'm sending you to the scrapyard. How is he alive though? That's crazy. He got hit so high up there.
And remember, this is State Fair's counterpick, and this stage has extremely high ceilings. And guess what tool the world's greatest detectives have been using? It ain't no secret. It's the Batman Up special.
True. Oh my goodness. Oh, they are fighting down there. Okay, Velma.
Oh my goodness.
Can you make it
Watch
back?
out. We got missiles?
Yeah,
Dang, man.
Missiles.
Had to crank the bat signal on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Help. Gordon.
Gordon don't want no part of that. You gotta stop it.
Wow, it is IG. Jeez. What happened there?
Man. All right, that's going to be a first point going the way of the blue team. They got a little bit of momentum. See if they can capitalize off of it. Oh, I love K7 just being completely aggressive. Really making that Iron Giant combo food anytime he's in his vicinity.
Yeah, and the world's greatest detectives kind of starting things off hot here, getting the first KO on Iron Giant, one of the main characters they've been struggling to get the KO on.
Yes.
I think this is looking really good if you're the blue team. Okay, is that going to be it? But no, that is going to be huge survivability, and that is completely worth it.
Yeah,
Completely
agreed.
worth it.
I see. You see kind of like the trade-off of having that higher ceiling, but it's actually panning out better so far for the blue team in a lot of these instances and some of that survivability. Meanwhile, as you said, Charles, really able to get some more KOs off this Iron Giant a little quicker than you'd expect.
Because every single time I got a wow. I love that Clueless every time he sets up these missiles, right? He puts them at this perfect angle just to shut off movement from an opposing player and then goes for a 2v1. And they've gone so many points off that tactic alone.
Yeah, looking like Doom missiles, just covering so many different approaches, right? And like you said, just perfectly in the air as well, just to cut off aerial approaches or high recoveries.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, good hit. That's definitely gonna be a KO match point right now. Ooh, smart. I like that. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Hey,
yo!
wow.
There was so little options there because the megaphone was also attached onto K7. So K7 using the side air, cutting off options, and even the side air is either going to combo into the megaphone, or if you fade back, you get hit by a megaphone, or if you go too low, guess who's there to cover it as well?
Plan A, B, and see you later on that one. That was
Mr.
crazy.
Wayne.
Covering all escape routes there. So fantastic stuff to last week's champions. The world's greatest detectives are definitely going to solve that mystery and move on to the winners final side of things. And man, we could have the first back-to-back victory from the same team.
Very true. I mean, you go through, battle of, weekly champs right there, and it did not disappoint. But yeah, K7 and Legendary just having a little bit more in the tank, especially too to do it convincingly. They're on their counter pick as well, right? Losing that first game, you got to battle it out on Cromulus on their counter pick and be a little bit, put you in a little bit more of distress. But they responded well and they handled business.
Yeah, the high ceilings actually were pretty impactful there.
100%.
We would have seen a very, very early KO on Iron Giant, which is something World's Greatest Detectives couldn't really line up in the game 1 or game 2. They're finally able to line it up game 3, but they're on Cromulus.
That's correct.
So Iron Giant does take a bunch of damage, but they're still able to clutch that out with the offense. And I mean, a pretty convincing
very
4 to 2 points, I believe, at the end there. So really great stuff. I mean, figuring things out and just getting so much damage onto the Iron Giant. And when you're able to open up Giant and force defensive bolts, then Iron Giant can't come at you in advantage state and just be like, oh, I'm gonna like side air you plus bolts, right? Like, so even if you try to swing back at me, I win no matter what. So when you force Giant to use bolts defensively, it's a way different game. And that's because when Iron Giant is able to come offensively with the bolts, that's when he can get really, really early percentage KOs.
True. Yeah, it was great that they were keying in on that, and just again keying in on those like defensive, like those vertical recoveries, right? We saw that happen a lot, and that's where they were finally able to get some of these points, from Clueless. And you have to do that against this character. If you're going to throw all these kill options that you use, these KO options rather, right, all the time, you're not going to get anything, right? Because this character is way too heavy. So just good awareness all around. Yeah,
Accept it.
But just take you with being heavy. Remember, there's always taxes.
That's true.
Always taxes.
Pay your heavy taxes.
Always
That
taxes.
is, and that applies to multiple fighting games. Don't get it twisted.
Welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the bounce house, Iron Giant.
There you go. Facts on facts, man. Even on Cromulus, not able to have the impact I'm sure they were looking for. But nonetheless, that'll wrap up our first semis. As we said, Legendary and K7 going into winners finals. But who's going to be joining them? We're going to find out right now. This very impressive team of Stripe and Superman definitely had a big impact. Of course, not going to be an easy task though. Against Velma on the other side and Arya. We're duking it out. Trophy's edge for our opening game.
Yeah, again, I mean, ooh, and look at that.
Jeesh.
Side air nerves?
What's that? What are you talking about?
Did you read the patch notes? He didn't. I'm still doing what I want.
It doesn't matter.
Goodness.
I love the Frost Breath as well to shut down the Arya Dagger. The Arya Dagger is, the main source of mobility, and even using the Frost as well, the Frost Breath. I mean, just slowing down some of these fast-moving assassins like Arya is going to be such a big deal.
Yeah, even the book, right, coming in from Velma, we've seen him already kind of get Frost Breath on, and that's honestly what makes Ice Breath a really, really strong tool defensively, is how it can just really just negate a lot of these projectiles here.
Yeah.
Great movement all around. You're seeing from Dante. Opportunity here. This is what I'm talking about. Welcome to the alleyway.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Go down. Yes, sir. Another one?
Bro,
Of course. Why not?
Look at the options being cut off and controlled. Like, at any point when they have an opportunity to get a 2v1 situation, they do not let it go to waste. You're either going to get taken a lot of percent, or you're just flat out going to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, maybe another one. Don't get wrong.
Bang, bang!
Good, bro. Good God almighty.
Who's supplying Stripe with all of this ammo?
Charles, I thought you said there weren't any pools. What the heck?
I love how Stripe just rolls up with the trike, bro.
Yeah.
Stripe just rolls up with the trike and just like, bang, bang, what up?
He's out here in the streets.
Easy money sniper right there, baby.
Oh, man. And again, Stripe really breaking the mold in terms of just how you can double down on your offense. We were talking about it earlier, very, very early meta. It was very clear that, okay, we want one back line, we want one front line, one person in the back support or mage class kind of controlling space with some of these projectiles. But Stripe is coming through and changing the game because such mobility, such great offense. You pair it up with someone like Superman and you can just, again, double, triple, quadruple down on this offense and just get a game like that where you get 4 points to none.
Robbed. Yeah, man.
My goodness.
Yeah, the character is so wild, man. But again, it's really exemplifies like how strong players these guys are too all around, where they recognize, hey, I'm going to step back for a bit. I am going to sit there, use the saw blade, utilize it to cover a lot of the platforms, which is one of the great strengths of that move, right? Able to throw it at a 45-degree angle aerially to really cut off a lot of options. And once you are off stage, once you are in the alleyway, I'm saying, man, it is Krypton. It doesn't matter who you are, you're about to get cooked.
Empty the wallets.
Empty the wallets now. Give me your papers.
Sign the waiver too while you're at it.
Of course. It's crazy. It's crazy how we're talking about this match almost so casually. But that was a semis match. There's a lot of importance that weighs on this. Going into winners finals if you're able to get past it. But when you put a beat down like that just so efficiently, on the other team. It's hard not to just kind of joke and laugh about it because, that's setting the tone real quick.
Yeah, and again, Velma doesn't really have too many things to stave off opponents horizontally. You do have the up air to stop people from spiking you downward, but if someone's coming at you horizontal, your side air does take a little bit of time. And if you got some word bubbles, but it kind of depends on who is targeted at the moment, right? So there's a lot of things going into it, and Velma doesn't have too many options to recover high as well. So that's one thing about Velma. If you close the gap on Velma and you don't give Velma a lot of time to set up the megaphone, to set up the speech bubbles, then all of a sudden you kind of have this character that's trying to fight off these other characters but doesn't really have the boxing tools to quite do so. And then you put Velma in that offstage scenario and it can be easy pickings.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a hard one. So we'll see what the adaptation will be. That's going to be a big moment. They're going to be looking at Velma every single time. So what can Ross do here, right? How is he going to just stay out of those situations, really make sure that he has, a good amount of stage control, because if he gets off stage, it's just the speed of Superman, the speed of Stripe, the bullets at any point in time. It's just going to be a rough one.
Honestly, Ross is probably thinking, why did I ever drop this character, man?
Yeah, wait a minute.
I'm seeing what it's like from the other side.
Hey, man,
I want to go back.
I said it, man.
Honestly, seeing the Raw suits come back now?
Oh my goodness. I don't think that belt was coming back in.
Nah.
Anytime soon.
Well, where are you
Oh
going?
my goodness, 2 for 1?
Oh, another one.
Oh, yes,
man.
sir. Strike. Good
Yo,
God.
why a bullet from beyond the grave? That's crazy.
Goodness, man. Look at that. I mean, they are just absolutely railroading them, man. This red team has not been able to get any solid offense going. Just really trying to play on the defensive.
Jeez.
And just,
no,
wait, no, shots,
fire.
bro.
Oh, no. Yo.
And one mixtape, baby.
Oh, no. The Daily Planet obituaries, bro. Like, Jesus.
This is OD.
Oh, man.
How do you slow the blue team down is the question. And I mean, you know what's crazy? I feel like the blue team's actually slowing red team down. It's the ice breath coming out from Dante.
Yeah.
Able to really shut down all these projectiles. It really puts red team on their back foot, and even when things do get slower, it doesn't really matter. They don't get too much off it because Dante's just freezing everything with the breath.
Exactly.
I mean, goodness. I mean, can we at least get a point if you're the red team? You're thinking, come on, we can't get shut out like this. No shot. Okay, they're going to get one on Superman. Strike right there for the taking, and Velma not going to let him get away for free. The up air, giving him maybe some signs of life right here. Plenty of space between them and the mystery machine to get that involved.
Okay,
Man,
maybe.
you're so far behind right now. You got to play almost perfectly if you're red team.
True. What is your answer?
Or get like a crazy edge guard on like 2 here. Oh, are you gonna get the early KO? It's not enough, not able to finish off the combo. That would have been so huge. Arya would have got the KO there, but something stopped it.
Yeah, that would have been everything. Now we're seeing the chase, the high percent here. Ross gets tossed to the side, we're gone. I'll tell you one thing: the knockback on that throw did not get nerfed.
Yeah,
not that angle. You get tossed.
Man.
Jeez, what a dominant way to stomp your way into winners finals.
Over the shoulder.
Forget
too.
about it.
Had to have been the most dominating set we've seen
Easily,
tonight.
bro. Easily.
By
Easily.
far.
How are you gonna get tossed in the negative zone? Yo, wow.
And it's just so ironic because Rossi's the main super.
Yeah,
right? So I think that's like the most ironic part.
Yeah.
But like, my goodness, that team just opened up the enemy team and just would not stop. And again, it didn't feel like it was all W all the time, right? It wasn't just hold forward and we win. There were so many times where the game kind of slowed down to a crawl, and it didn't really matter because even with the distance provided, Superman being able to shut down enemy projectiles with that frostbite is such a big deal, and Dante is so good at it, knows exactly when and where to use it. And I think that's where I feel like a lot of Supermans, they're very good at, okay, the best thing about Superman is going to be that advantage state, right? And a lot of Supermans know how to execute that part of Superman, but I think what separates the good from the great Supermans is what do you do on the back line? What do you do when things kind of slow down a bit and all these projectiles are flying through the air? How are you utilizing the frost breath, the laser beam? That's just so hard to do because you always want to go in with Supes, right? You always want to lay the hands down.
You want to fly?
Yeah, you want to fly.
I want to fly. I want to fly.
Take me to the moon.
But I mean, Dante was doing such a great job shutting down the projectiles with the frost breath, and even when Ross and Cinco were able to slow things down, they didn't really get much out of it. And I mean, that frost breath don't got a cooldown like the Batman smoke bomb. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you said they want to fly. They just flew right into winners finals. That is going to be a hell of a showdown that we have brewing between those two teams for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very eager to see how that one's going to pan out.
Yeah, and I know Yeso is also in the red room waiting to see how that one pans out. But why don't we get an update as well, Yeso, on that losers bracket?
I'm still trying to process that last set that we just saw. Dante and Mikokoro just absolutely demolishing there up against Ross and Cinco Go. And I'm with EE completely here. I am hyped for this set up against K7 and Legendary. Of course, they're trying to defend that title from last week. They've made it to winners finals once again. They're looking solid. The Batman's looking good. But Dante and Mikokoro coming in with, I would agree, the most dominant set we've seen today. They tried to go for the full shutout there. Weren't quite able to get it, but they were looking damn good in that second game, and they come in with a ton of momentum, and they really threw down there in that last set. But of course, now we come into winners finals. I will update you on where we stand on the loser side. Of course, I mentioned earlier that Mirror Man and Kosalix had moved on. They'd won that losers round 1 set. They are up against Meth and Clueless right now. Don't have a result there yet, but playing to keep that run alive on the loser side. On the other side, of course, we just saw Ross and Cinco Go fall in that winners semifinal. They're down there up against Yawn and Greeted. So those two still alive. Unfortunately, our O2ers here for today's bracket. You hate to see it, but you know, somebody's always got to go to O2, and it was Martoons and Rams, and then the Mr. Men. Of course, it fell to K7 and Legendary in that round 1 set. So a couple of really good sets down there on the loser side, and we'll have updates for those as they come up, and that'll set things up very interestingly for that losers semifinal as we really start to whittle things down. We're going to get down to that top 4 here just after those couple of sets, but as we look forward to K7 and Legendary up against those two gens, Dante and Mikokoro, I'm tempted to make a prediction here, and I'm going to do it because why not? You know, what the hell? We'll see what happens. We are jumping into best of fives now, of course, now that we're into top 4. So, looking at that set, I don't want to bet against K7 because I really liked their run last week, but that was some of the cleanest MultiVersus we've seen so far today from Dante and Miko Koro. So I'm going to take them. I think the set goes the distance. I think we're going 5 games. K7 and Legendary, I think, going to give them more of a challenge than we saw from Ross and Cinco Go. But what the hell? I'm taking the hot hand here. I'm taking Dante and Miko Koro 3-2 in that set to get into grand finals from the winner's side. But we'll have to see how things shake out. But looking forward to seeing how this rest of the bracket plays out. Of course, we will have results on that loser side here very soon, and hoping that we get some great sets here down the stretch because we've just got 4, maybe 5 best of 5s if we get a reset ahead of us, and it's going to be a hell of a run here. I think we're going to go to a quick break right now. Production will give me the thumbs up if that's the plan. They say yes, it is. So do want to remind you, if you want to support us here at Series Z and everything we're doing at Esports Arena, make sure to head over to walmart.com/esports arena today. If you need products from our friends at Razer, Intel, Mike and Ike, and more, you can pick them all up over there. It's, again, walmart.com/esports arena. Maybe you got to do a little last minute holiday shopping. Do it over there, and we would certainly appreciate it. We're headed to a quick break right now. When we come back, all my friends next door will have winners finals all set and ready. Don't go far.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
All right, and welcome back to Series E, of course, for MultiVersus, and we have been having some insane matches throughout the course of this tournament. Of course, my name is Bam. I'm joined here by Charles, Thorne, and EE, and I mean, yo, we're going to winter finals, but I still can't believe what I witnessed. Like, where did that winter semis go? Can you tell me? Because I don't know.
It was like a hat trick.
Yeah, if you blink, you probably missed it. As far as that Superman combination, like it's just crazy to me that you can be in winter semis and then just have such a dominant performance. I mean, they were just yeeting people left and right off that stage, man. I mean, that is a serious combination, Stripe and Superman. And obviously, we know how effective K7 and Legendary have been on the Velma, on the Batman, but this could be their greatest challenge yet since they've been in Series E competition. It's going to be a hell of a winners final.
Yeah, and we will see if K7, one thing we always praise K7 for is the defense on Batman, really making every life count and getting every life to a very reasonable, if not more than reasonable percentage for Batman, right? So K7 usually gets to those higher percents, so it just, being able to stick that long with Batman is crazy. Well, we'll see if K7 can do it against this team because, man, that last game was just, it was all offense all the time, and on top of that, the KOs were coming sub 30, 40% quite often.
All I'm gonna say is don't let the farm boy farm you, okay?
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
Some Bruce versus Clark action coming up, actually.
Yeah.
It's the reason they call it Smallville because there's no room for you, all right?
Yeah.
That's just what it
Dang,
is.
what a throwback. I forgot about that.
Classic.
Good show, man. Back when the CW knew what they were doing.
Damn, what a time.
Time to be alive, man. No doubt about that. But yeah, this winners final is going to be crazy, man. I know we're setting up, got that lobby coming up for you guys very shortly. This is, I think everything we see for in top four should be best of 5 remaining throughout the bracket. So that's going to be really awesome to see, get that additional game, give you some time to adapt, maybe decide to kind of go with a different lineup depending on how things go in, games 1 or 2. So more flexibility obviously being presented when you get into best of 5. So, as good as these players are, I'm definitely eager to see how that will kind of pan out for them.
Yeah, and I mean, both these players, or both these teams, showing dominance in their sets. I mean, I think K7 Legendary showing a little bit more dominance in their first round, but man, of course, the Superman and the Stripe just showing the most dominating set in that last winter semi. So I think in terms of momentum, they're definitely feeling themselves coming into this winners finals. But remember, it's K7 and Legendary that won last week with a very stellar showing. Such a solid all-around team. I mean, again, offense and defense. I know we praise K7 a lot and Legendary a lot on their defense, but they also know when to pull the trigger on that offense. So it's really sick to see. And again, just that Velma Batman combination, something that we've seen work, alongside of a bunch of other Velma combinations. But it's always fun to see the double down offense team get to winners finals, right? The Stripe and the Superman. And let me tell you, when things go right for Stripe and Superman,
they go right.
It's not pretty for the other team. I don't think they're having fun.
No, they're definitely not having any fun.
No, that's big fact. I mean, you just see the way they open up. I mean, sometimes we'll be like 30 seconds in and they're already 2 points on the board. Like that's how quickly they really get this offense moving. It's like a, what I'm saying, it's like a semi. So hard to slow down. So, for K7 and Legendary, it's all about don't fall too far behind at the jump. You want to keep things even, Steven, as long as you can, and just make it kind of like a clutch battle so you can really tighten up and put these games away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing I do want to note here, right, is you're definitely going to see a big keying in on Legendary, right? We saw it already before on another Velma. We talked about it throughout the course of this tournament, how Velma as a character, when it comes to recovery, defensively can really struggle, right? Yeah. And unless someone's able to get there in time, you're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
K7 usually can be there in time. Great coverage. But can you cover against Superman and Stripe on this level? Right? Can you cover against Dante and Mikoro? No. I don't know. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, one thing I will say is K7's movement on Batman is very optimal. So in terms of when K7 needs to be in a position to save his teammate or just like any team fundamental position in general, he'll usually be able to be there because of the movement of Batman. My biggest question is how are they going to deal with Dante's Frost Breath? Because, we saw Dante use the Frost Breath against Velma, opposing Velmas, shutting down all the words, even shutting down things like Arya Dagger. Now also going to be able to shut down the Batarang as well. So when Batarang gets destroyed, it's such a big hit to Batman's neutral because that's it's not a I win neutral for free, but you get a very good neutral situation because it's a setup that you come
I win neutral for free.
Right. I mean, now there are situations where you don't want to throw just spam Batarang against someone that can make more projectiles than you, right? Because it'll clash, and then you're down a Batarang, or even against someone like Superman who can freeze the Batarang. So you can't be as willy-nilly if your opponents have other projectiles to throw into the Batarang or things like freezing the Batarang. So I'm going to be really curious to see how K7 adjusts around that, and even, I mean, just the world's greatest detectives in general. I mean, when you're going up against Frost Breath, when you have that full screen distance, usually that team is at such a great advantage, right? You're talking about Velma Batman, you're going to be able to set up the smoke screen to shut down your opponent's projectiles, but your projectiles are still going at it. But, you know, they're not fighting against other projectiles. It's Superman and Stripe. So because Superman can shut down their projectiles, I wonder what that tug of war of neutral is going to look like. And Dante's so strong and knows exactly when and where to use the Frost Breath. So I wonder what they're going to cook for that strategy.
Yeah, no, true. Because, I mean, even then you have Saw Blade, right? And that's going to be one projectile. But Saw Blade, the great thing about that move is even if you're not using it outright to hit your opponent, it's really for the coverage that it has, right? The space. And when you have a move that can kind of go back and forth on the ground and it forces people to be airborne, up against a character like Superman, up against a character like Stripe, you're already using resources just to be up there.
Yeah.
And they are waiting to steal from those pockets. Let me tell you that much.
Every resource burn is another step closer to you getting robbed, right?
Yes.
There it is, man. That's actually perfect, man. It's the world's greatest detectives versus the world's greatest robbers. Okay, from what we've seen in this bracket already. So let's get it started. Winners finals, best of 5. It is going to be a hell of a showdown right now. And this game 1 could be very telling.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing for the red team, if you're the world's greatest detectives, is how do you cover Legendary if you're K7, right? How do you let this Velma operate and get as much value from the Velma and just really keep the blue team off of your backline? If K7 can do that, and if Legendary can operate around the coverage that K7's throwing out for him, I think that's going to be a huge key to victory.
You know, it's so funny because I feel like almost like, and granted, Legendary and Makoro also have great movement, but it almost feels like Makoro and Legendary are fighting themselves, and then you're just seeing literally K7 and Dante move at the speed of sound. Like, these guys are just zooming back and forth, man. Just literally, it's stellar movement all around.
Yeah, one thing they really make it hard to do is like kind of breathe right in their vicinity. Like, you are always under duress when they are kind of deciding to apply all that pressure to you. See it paying off already as they are up a point, looking to be up 2. Gotta be careful if you're K7. He's getting launched right now, and he is not going to be able to come back. Blue team, authoritative start right now.
Yeah, and I think Stripe is such a great answer to the defense that K7 has, because K7 usually will be able to live to like this 120, even 150 with this Batman. But you get hit off stage with a Stripe side air at 120 plus, it don't matter how good your defense is, because I'm bang bang, I'm shooting you up, and that's it.
And that's it, yeah. And that's the big thing. We've seen so many times K7 actually has, like, he's saved himself or he's able to recover, and he's like near the blast zone. If he gets hit by anything, he would be gone, right?
Right.
But the great DI, KDI rather, coming from him really allows him to come back to the stage. Not sure when you have that Stripe gun aimed at you, right? So gotta be careful here. Great combo, has an opportunity on the side, but already we're seeing a mix up, and here comes Dante.
And again, Dante using this Frost Breath not only to shut down projectiles, but to slow the Batman down. Batman and Superman just so quick with it. So when you're able to get any kind of Frost Breath, or even, look at this lineup. Wow, that would have been so good.
It is amazing that none of them got caught by that.
Oh, wait a minute, though.
Oh, this is not where you want to be off stage. These two,
that's another one. Yeah, bang, bang. No,
maybe no ammo in the chamber right now.
Perhaps.
And I mean, look. Red team is going to be able to get back, kind of, sort of. Velma is going to go ahead and lose that point there, but look at all the damage they done.
Yeah, you are done. Those triple digits, Superman after you, good luck surviving that.
Yeah.
And that extended edge guard, they didn't, and that's the crazy thing about the blue team right now. They don't always pull the trigger on the KO. They can always get damage, fade back, get damage, fade back, get damage, and fade back. So this whole time, they're just accumulating so much damage that as long as they keep fading back with the right options, eventually you're going to be out of resources. Eventually, you're going to get snatched up by the Superman up special, and that's going to be a wrap.
100%.
4-2.
When you can be that non-committal too in those kind of tight situations as well, that's such a benefit for your team, because you put the other team on guard. Like, okay, are they coming in or are they laxing up? Like, what do I have to do in this instance? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost a guessing game, and you pick the wrong option, and you just see like the benefits it can have for the opposing team.
Yeah, man, what an explosive game right there. And again, I just got to give it up to Dante's Frost Breath, because not only was it shutting down Batarang and Velma projectiles, but also slowing down either Velma, who just already lacks mobility, or you're slowing down and you're taking away K7's main weapon. And what is his movement?
That's what he needs, too.
K7's biggest strength on the Batman, even when you allude to his offense or his defense, the core of it all comes down to his movement. And if you get like 3 or 4 frost stacks on the K7, you're really, really going to put a thorn in his side.
Yeah,
right?
man. It does enough. And the thing is, too, is now he's got to compete with that with the stacks versus Dante's movement, which is absolutely stellar in its own right as a player. And of course, you got freaking Clark can't move in the speed of sound.
Hey man, are you telling me Dante's moving like Clark right now?
He's moving like Clark.
He's moving like Clark.
I hate to inform them,
You keep
but
saying
I think he's moving like Clark.
You keep saying he's moving like Clark. I think he is Clark, man. I gotta keep it real with you. The
It's
way
a
he's
cat in the
operating,
building, man.
this is that guy right here. He's him, and it is
Yo, Cal-El.
very impressive.
He's
showing.
flying right now,
He's
right?
definitely flying, bro.
Tell him, Margin.
Man, you can come with us, man. You can come with us.
I just
That's
want
all I'm saying.
The eternal meme, it'll never die.
The greatest FGC tweet ever.
Yes, by far. Not even close.
Very entertaining. I agree with you on that for sure. But entertaining as well. Obviously, that first game and kind of putting last week's champs on notice that you are not going to have a free walk to grand finals. You're going to have to pick it up a little bit because, again, very convincing game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, again, just we kind of thought, okay, now remember, this is a best of 5. So we're out of best of 3 territory, so we're going to see some long-term adaptation, some long-term strategy going into this. And I wonder what you do if you're the world's greatest detective. You got quite the case to solve here, because it's the opponents are just so powerful. It looks like the answer is going to be Cromulus here. So Superman not going to be able to get the KOs so early off the top at the very least, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Red Team going to cook up some wall combos here. Cromulus is going to have those walls available on the left and right, but you can beat up the sides just a tad bit to get them out of the way. But in the beginning, you are going to have access to some of those wall combos.
True. Yeah, I mean, I do love them trying to stay a little bit closer so they can access the armor, right? Given by Velma. But yeah, they need to find an answer here to really thwart a lot of this offense. And to your point, it's scary because it's not just the offense coming in from these guys, but the ability for them to step back and have the frost breath into the saw blade. And man, look at the damage already with the bullet. Almost got him a second time, but here comes Dante trying to close it out. But K7 finds a way to fight out of that left side.
Yeah, kudos to him, because it was definitely looking like that KO was within arm's reach, but using that evasiveness to keep himself alive, but the pressure still continuing to come on all fronts right now, actually.
AK7 still alive here, trying to line up the battering, and this time I feel like, because you don't want to slow the game down too much, right?
Yeah.
It's very clear that the blue team has answers if you try to slow the game down too much with the Frost Breath here. So you got to kind of play this mid-range. I'm kind of slowing things down, I'm kind of not. And just like that, it is blue team again going to get this first KO, the first point on the board.
Yeah.
Jeez, just look at that, just kind of just bullying in a sense.
So opportunity here to take 2. Let's see. Up air, that's
Nice.
1. That's another one.
Okay, there we go.
2-1 here by the world's greatest detective.
Exactly what they needed.
The numbers don't lie,
They
right?
don't. Not at all.
Okay, the battering getting picked back up here. One of the few times that K7 was able to do that. But wait a minute, the Bullets putting K7 in such a bad position.
Oh, this could be a wrap for both of them. This is scary.
Wow, the side special actually being utilized to recover their great stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
what
we're
a
still
catch.
in a deficit there. This is a serious issue. Gonna go back to recover.
Wow, look at that. Legendary in such a bad position, using the words to cover themselves to get back on stage, but getting dumped in the face.
All it takes is one time. All it takes is one time.
Clark, please.
Oh, man.
God.
Dang, man, Clark don't discriminate. That was a punch for each.
Oh, yeah.
A duck to the face.
It's nuts
Left and right.
too, because they did such a good job, like fading so much of that pressure, right, just to get absolutely obliterated. Once Clark was like, all right, enough's enough, I'm putting you away.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're talking about fighting games, and if you're playing a fighting game, if you are in the corner too many times, eventually you're gonna get caught lacking.
Yep.
It
That's
doesn't
actually
matter.
really good though. These percentages are being so high, so Stripe maybe gonna have to take a lesser role right now and avoid getting KO. Oh no, it's not even gonna matter. They're able to pull it away. even in the deficit, they gotta realize, I got my opponents in those triple digits. I understand, the 2-for-1s can't happen, and that's exactly what you got right there.
Yeah.
They got their 1 KO to go up, but it was just 2 away from taking the entire game.
So one thing I want to say, Legendary came to play. One of the biggest things is you already know that Velma's going to be keyed in on, right? You don't have the mobility versus everyone else on the screen. You look like an easy target. But a lot of the defensive up specials that we saw coming in from Legendary, a lot of the dares to get combos, was able to get a lot of pillars. I mean, you saw the damage there, right?
Yeah.
Doing the majority of the damage, and all of that was a lot of times a counter to the approaches that we're seeing from Dante and Mikokoro, right? So that is how he needs to play, because if he's not able to set that out, right? If he's not able to hold them down in that way and get that damage, then K7 has to come and try to save you, and you're gonna get caught.
You can't always rely on that, right? And I think the recoveries coming out from the world's greatest detectives were amazing that round. I mean, there's so many more aggressive recoveries that we saw that were, you're able to cover yourself and your teammate at the same time with some of that aggression and get back onto the stage, not taking too much damage. I think no matter what, the blue team's always going to get damage when they put you off stage just because of what their characters are. They're going to cover some options, but as long as you can get through the first 1 or 2 rounds and not be off stage for that 3rd round of offense when you have practically no resources, right? And be able to reset yourself, take some damage, and then get back to it. Even the neutral as well, the world's greatest detectives, were playing a little bit more not super far back and not super far close, but they got to teeter in between, right? You can't really, because if you go way too far back, the Frost Breath almost becomes a free option because Superman's like, okay, well, if you're all the way back there, I'm going to
You're just giving me this space.
Right, so you have to play at a range where the Frost Breath is more of a risk for Superman, because although you do get those Frost stacks, the Frost Breath is not putting any kind of knockback out, right? So sometimes you can truck through the Frost Breath and just get a hit and go from there and play that advantage state.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and play game number 3. We are taking it to Batcave. All right, again, you recall last week was supposed to be a little bit of a pain for K7 and Legendary, but nonetheless, definitely a good stage for sure for Superman to commit some robberies. You see him right there already lurking and looking.
There's one. Man, in your own house. That's crazy.
I'm saying, bro, the eviction note is coming in.
Alfred, help.
More like the S cave, man.
I'm saying, man.
There's another one.
Nice reversal.
Okay.
I gotta get the
Legendary played the game.
Yeah, and won. But this might be another one.
I like it. Didn't get the follow-up, but I like the fact it was there.
Maybe no bullets in the chamber here for Stripe.
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities. You're thinking Stripe's going to end that life, but not quite coming to fruition.
Yeah, and this is a great counter pick coming out from the blue team here. It's going to be so strong because these smaller, blast zones are going to be in favor of the blue team, of course. They always want those early KOs as soon as possible. But look at this, it's the red team surviving and getting the reversal.
Wow.
Beautifully played,
yeah. Phenomenal job by Legendary. I think Dante went for the switch there on Velma, but Velma was already beneath him, right? And that means that up air is going to be a lot of great coverage, and honestly, Superman can do very little about that. He's got to be careful there and kind of pick those timings. It seems like the biggest thing is they're taking 2 or 3 more edge guard attempts in order to close it out, and those opportunities mean the world to the world's greatest detectives.
Oh man, the red team needs to survive. Look at this higher percent. We haven't seen them got that high, but
2.
And it's just back to back. They can fire back though.
Oh, there's one.
There's one, and maybe 2 lining up here. The glide trying to be utilized, but wait!
Oh no!
Don't let it be you.
Oh my God! That's so good. That's such a clutch.
Big opportunity here for them.
Yeah.
And right there, I mean, K7 went so far on the offense that could have got reversal, was able to get back on the stage, and it just is going to come down to whichever team can get this next KO to clutch out this game 3. This is so huge because if you win this game 3, you get the counter pick advantage in game 5.
Yeah. They just want to catch him off stage lacking. That's all blue team's looking for.
Absolutely, but man, you got the camera out, man. The people know this is so good by Legendary. Racking up a ton of damage, just again, simply understanding, I know they're keying in on me, I know they want to get me off stage, I'm not going to let them get it for free.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow, Legendary going on the offense and doesn't get punished for it, but a huge scramble on the left side. Saw Blade, or the chainsaw does connect here. It's red team.
Oh my God! You are not ready, son!
And Legendary had to go out there to help K7. K7 going for the foot dive, but the perfectly timed dodge coming out from Dante, getting that game 3. And wow, that offstage situation on the right side was just phenomenally executed there.
That was definitely one of the highlights of the evening, no doubt about that. Sensational way. And they eked that one out. That was not, a dominant win. That was a nail biter for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, this set is cooking up to be
this
the
is
craziest set of the tournament, honestly, because I mean, when you're looking at it, both these teams are so dominant, or felt pretty dominant at least. I mean, obviously the Superman and the Stripe were extremely dominant in winter semis, right? But now we're kind of equaling out here in terms of adaptation, right? Swing one game, swing the other game, and now this game 3 was so close, so down to the wire. And if that was just a best of 3, that would have been a fantastic set. But we have a possible 2 more games here. We'll see what the world's greatest detectives are going to answer with in this game number 4.
This is where it gets fun, man.
Yeah.
You're seeing the adaptation. Now, can you adapt to my adaptation, right? What is the next step, right? Are you a one-trick pony? Is that all you got? Or can you actually come to play? So this is exactly what I wanted to see from winners finals.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Not disappointing at all. And I love the fact that even like on a stage, you're thinking, okay, it might heavily favor them to just snipe out and get those quick KOs. No, it's still going down to the wire, as that third game did show. Like, it is anybody's game, but you got to clutch up in these tight situations, and we are seeing that from all parties involved. But Superman and Stripe, they're up 2-1 right now. Chance to send last week's champions to the losers bracket, get that spot in grands, and be sitting pretty. See if they can get it done in 4, man. Are we going to get that 5th game? I got a feeling we're going to 5 games on this one. I just got a feeling.
And I feel like the main interaction in that game 3 was just that dodge from Dante. Not panicking too early, waiting for the foot dive from K7 and dodging perfectly to the left and getting that reversal situation and then just passing it off to his teammate to finish it off there. Incredible trust in your teammate and incredible trust in your timing on the dodge there. So incredible stuff coming out from Dante. We'll see if the blue team can just close this out game 4 on the counter pick. Obviously looking at the stage, going to have a lot more real estate here for the Velma to work with.
True. It's going to be a big factor here.
Yeah, her being able to keep some space, it's definitely going to be very, very helpful. But as we've seen, man, Dante they ain't got no problem coming through and closing it up pretty quick.
Yeah. I love this though. Really, really focus here on staying center stage so you don't have to deal with situations where your Edgar attempts happening on Legendary. And that dare, and a lot of counter attacks coming here for Legendary and really making great mileage out of that. Getting a good amount of damage. Woo! Of course, the anti-airs can't just be falling on me, man. Can't drop into my house. Park better watch it.
I'm saying.
Superman off stage here, but no one wants to go to that right side. No one wants to play
that game.
That's the Superman luxury, right? Like, you can be off stage, but nobody really wants to take that risk, especially somebody as proficient as Dante.
Yeah.
You kind of give him that free range to almost get back to the stage for free. And he's certainly going to be content with that, but they are down 2 whole points right now. K7 and Legendary have stepped it up in a major way for game 4. I think that 5th game is all but guaranteed at this point, guys.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. Just knowing exactly, and I love that even though letting Superman back on stage, even if you let Superman back on stage, guess what? You can just 2v1 the teammate.
True.
So doing incredible at just that here. Blue team needs an answer, but I think they're going to save all their answers for the next game. I don't know if you want to dig too. Oh wait, but a double KO here. I mean, kind of something, but it's still going to be really rough. You got to line up another double KO if you're the blue team.
That being said, everyone is at a fairly low percentage.
Correct.
I mean, you got these guys at 0 here. If they're able to rack it up, they can get 2 points just like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be going down to the wire.
Getting some good combo strings here, winning some neutral interactions. This is definitely an opportunity for them to accumulate enough damage where, getting 2 KOs to bring this one back is still very doable, but as we say that, we see that percent continue to climb. Oh my goodness, and so does Batman. He said, you know what, you came from Krypton, let me send you back.
Yo, that is the Dark Knight. My man floated on him real quick.
That was OD, what a track down.
Yeah, and I mean, that was such great play coming out from the red team. If you're the red team, usually in that situation, you're like, okay, we can play it slow, we can just make trades, right?
Yeah.
If they get 1 KO, we can trade for another KO. But I think K7 had other plans in mind.
Yes.
I'm just going to go in, I'm going to get this KO, I'm going to chase Clark all the way in the skies. This is where I rule, this is my domain.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, that glide was so key, man. What
Glide
a
is
clutch.
so nice.
Yeah.
Because it can be hard to catch Superman going high, right?
Absolutely.
Like Superman has really great tools, especially the side special go really, really up high and up and over where a lot of characters can't catch you. But
complete disengage.
Bruce can catch a lot of people.
Yes, 100%. They knew that too. Like just perfect follow up for sure. And you just saw, that extra space, how that afforded them, so many more opportunities to kind of control the pace of that matchup. So we got a great Game 5 brewing for winners finals, and again, your guess is as good as mine as who's going to take it. But counter pick advantage being on the side of Supes and Stripe is a big deal.
Yeah, man, did K7 just go into Lazarus Pit? Like, they just revived, bro. Like, they are out here.
It's like, you know what? Grab the kryptonite out of the Batmobile.
You know what?
Give me a little something. Just a little shard. You know what I'm
bring
saying?
that utility belt real quick, Wow, they're playing.
That belt got some pockets for a reason, baby. Here we go. Game number 5, winners finals. It's been a sensational exchange thus far, and we're expecting Game 5 to be more of the same. Let's get it. Somebody go into grands.
I love that K7 actually throwing the battering backwards and letting the battering return, so you can kind of pressure Superman before. You can essentially pressure Superman before the Frost Breath comes out.
Yeah.
And shout out to Yeso. Yeso called out this Game 5 actually.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
He did. Said 3-2.
We'll see if Yeso is correct, not only on the game count, but on the team that wins it here. Yeso calling it out for the blue team, but K7 and Legendary showing so much prominence and so much potential in that Game 4, but now kind of trading back and forth as both teams here.
Yeah, and one of the big things is you're not seeing McConaughey actually get these really early KOs. Like, we know
Wow. And that's what you got to pay him the
close.
respect. K7 was feeling himself. He did have him on the ropes, but at the same time, he had him on stage, and that is all Superman's territory.
Threading the needle. I love that quick fastball from Dante. Really allowed that to happen. You do not want to be alone as Velma out here.
Velma needs some help. Velma needs some help, guys.
She has nothing. That's another one. Oh my goodness.
I mean, at least they got a point off of it, but man, blue team is so far ahead right now. You've got to think this Game 5 almost being wrapped up at a bow for them.
Yeah, in that situation,
momentum.
Dante is completely fine with that trade, right? Because blue team was up initially. So even though K7 was able to get the retaliation stomp, it does not matter. You're just making the game state go by even faster.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, even though we talked about how they've been able to evade a lot of these attempts, these edge guard attempts coming here from McConaughey, at the end of the day, if you're out there for that amount of times, you're going to get hit. Eventually, you're going to get caught lacking. And we're seeing it here right now. They're trying to close it out, looking for an opportunity. What a cross up. Wait.
Red team made it back. That was crazy. But again, look at this. Blue team mounting offense, but this is down to the wire. Next point is going to take this set and be in the winner's side of Grands. Who's it going to be?
It's absolutely still possible. You have to play damn near perfect, understanding.
Wait, though, they're getting damaged. Wait a minute.
No,
Oh my God! The stack knockback! The stack knockback! That was ridiculous!
What happens when the robbers get robbed? What happens?
No.
Oh my God!
Call the ambulance, but not for me! Oh God!
Man.
Dude. Oh my God.
The red team just stacking everything together on that clear offense. And you saw, that was really great defense on blue team. Stripe DI'd right, and Superman DI'd left, but guess what? The red team, the world's greatest detectives, they put 1 and 2 together. They're like, what if we both go left though? What if we both go left though?
Why don't we just wing? How about that?
And then the wings connected into the light bulb. That up air, so powerful when you stack that knockback like that. And you're also crossing up DI on multiple fronts because you're getting hit by multiple things, right? But I don't know if any KBI could have saved you from that one.
I got contingencies on every MultiVersus member, past, present, and future. That's what I saw.
I literally cannot believe
That's what I saw.
that they brought that one back.
Wow.
It just seems so clear cut, like the blue team has that wrapped up. But you know what? Whenever you have an opportunity, you and your partner, you just have to keep those comms good, stay engaged, and just, if something presents itself, don't let it go to waste. And they did not. As you said, stacking that damage and really just surprising to get that final KO that I don't think anybody saw, including the blue team.
I really want to shout out. Now, obviously, that last string offense was fantastic.
Right.
The fireworks are going off, the air horns, brr, 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 super crazy. But remember, it was red team that were both off stage right before that scenario. And I was so surprised I was so surprised that the world's greatest detective were able to get back on stage because it was, I mean, both players on the blue team, one was covering low, one was covering high, but they just did a field goal recovery.
Yeah.
They went right through the middle, man. And they were right. The crazy thing is, usually when you recover, it is so risky to recover as a team, and both of you guys are in the same vicinity. If both of you guys are overlapping each other and you come into the same area, you can get hit by the same
At least one
move.
of you is going to go.
So the fact that they doubled down and they're like, through the middle, and they just got back on the stage, no fear, absolutely. And then they got their one opening, and they're like, "Oh, we make it count, though."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We make this count.
If we made it back this far, we got to do something off. We got to capitalize. And they did just that, man. They won a game 5. It didn't seem like they had any business winning. And yet again, they find themselves on the winner's side of grand finals. A chance right now to go back-to-back with weekly wins at Series E. That's nuts.
Man, what a set! That is the best set so far of the tournament, for sure. We'll see if we get another banger game 5 within this top 4, but man, that one's going to be hard to top.
It really is, man. I mean, gosh, the fact that they were so disciplined defensively, man, off stage. We talk. How many people are going to get through that kind of onslaught from those two characters played by incredible players?
Yeah, and I mean, when you think about it, Stripe and Superman, those are some of the strongest edge guarders the entire game. And when you pair them together, it's like, it's pretty messed up. Like, there's not a lot of options you can do, especially if there's bullets in the chamber for Stripe. But man, great edge guarding all around, great recoveries all around, and again, super clutch capitalization. Not only from one, though. Remember, this is a team game, and we really saw the world's greatest detectives not only double down on their recovery, but double down on their offense as a team as well.
Yes.
Man, how do you top that, bro? Like, I mean, the only thing I guess that you could maybe say is like maybe the grand finals run back if they're able to make it back. I think they have a very good shot of doing just that. But obviously, they'll have to go against one of these teams who is waiting in the wings. We saw Mirror Man and Costelix lose round 1 of this bracket, but they are still alive and fighting. They've made it to loser semis, so they are certainly looking and eager to maybe get a little bit of a run back and rematch.
Yeah, teammate on over here, and I see Ross looking like the man in black instead, man. Something happened to that Velma.
Well, this is the team that
What a transformation.
This is the team I think that double jeopardied them last week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. So. In loser semis again.
Yeah.
Aw, snap. Here we go again.
Can we change our fortune this time? Another best of 5. Get the job done. We'll find out. As you said, the Ross definitely switching it up a little bit. Ooh.
This is what we saw last week from Ross, mainly mostly on the Black Adam. We did see the bugs come out. I don't know if we'll see it again here, but the Black Adam, again, that hover is going to be so strong. We really pointed out, I mean, so many edge guards it's happening, right? But we haven't really seen too many of the characters that are really hard to edge guard. Black Adam is going to be one of them. You know, Morty, Rick with the teleport, other characters that are really hard to edge guard, and you have to kind of play other different strategies. Bugs as well, right? Bugs is probably the main character that we've seen today that's like really, really hard to edge guard.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Black Adam. Let's go. Oh, a great pickup from Mirror Man. Yeah, that Bug's up there. Again, still requires a proper amount of respect.
Babe Ruth be Ruthin', man. It's too good.
Swings, baby.
Oh, and Ross still holding on to this life, making as much value as possible. Great recovery going onto that top platform. You don't always have to commit to one drift, one scenario here, and still alive and still racking up damage.
Ooh, that's fun.
Oh,
wow. How did he survive?
Wow, just barely slipping through his Cosmix. And wait, we didn't even point this out. We're running it back. It's the Evo team. It's Bugs and Velma.
That is actually true.
Oh, kick to the face, though. Put the Velma back and bring out the Stripe because, dang, Ross has had enough.
Nope.
Yeah. Very good point to note, too, man. Putting the Stripe away. And curious to know how long they've actually been running this comp. If they kind of started out their losers bracket with this, this very team. But either way, it's definitely panning out pretty nicely right now, despite being behind a little bit.
Oh, and again, this team particularly, the Black Adam and the Arya, they have so much crazy vertical pressure because not only when you're doing the float, doing the fly with Black Adam, you can recover very well.
Yeah.
But you can also just track people vertically really well for these juggles. And guess who else does that extremely well is going to be Arya, right? So when you put 1 and 2 together, your vertical KO power just really skyrockets with this team.
True, and it's great too because of just their combo game also operates almost like a CC, right? When they're able to get their extended string, so it gives them the other teammate enough time to get over there and really just be able to double down on that combo.
Oh, great KBI coming out from Ross here. Not gonna get followed up from the Velma. Ooh, the Lightning coming back though, barely avoiding these up airs as well from Velma. Can be a very hard move to avoid, and Ross is moving right now.
Oh my goodness,
He was
Ross.
tracking.
Catch me if you can!
I'm saying,
I am the tracker.
them feet was moving. Ross handling business though, able to outlast a very game Kostelix and Mirror Man team. Take that first game.
Yeah, and the entire time that Ross is floating around, being really hard to catch, and again, very hard to avoid these moves. The Velma up air, the Bugs up air, there's so much things you got to avoid. You do have that float in the air, but still is very, very tough, and Ross was able to navigate all throughout that 2v1 offense, and guess what Cinco's doing? Cinco's like, all right, well, no one's going to pay attention to me. I'm going to toss the hands out, man.
Bang, bang.
It gets the job done. It gets the job done. It's cool to see that classic Evo combination though of Velma and Bugs. Obviously didn't work out in that first game, but definitely clearly having enough faith in it to run it in loser semis. Even in a losing effort for that first game. I'm curious to see if they'll switch off or any kind of changes on either side. I don't know.
I will say that I think Stripe Bugs, you have a little bit more versatility in terms of, I feel like Kostelix and Mirrorman, they're the most versatile in terms of like who has a clear-cut role. I feel like they can kind of toss back and forth between, okay, if you're Kostelix with Stripe, I can sit back, I can shoot some bullets, or I can just throw some saw blades.
Yeah.
And Bugs obviously has some backline moves as well, setting up rockets, setting up the tunnel and stuff like that. So they kind of ping pong back and forth on who's playing front and who's playing back. But when you go and commit to this team, Bugs Velma, this comp particularly, the Bugs wants to usually be in front because Velma is generally a backline character and can't be as flexible as Stripe in terms of ping-ponging between front and backline here. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on the Mirror Man specifically because look at that, right at the start, both of them kind of fade back and red team just pushes forward and claims all of that real estate, right? So Mirror Man really holding it down in the front line there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mirror Man.
True, and of course, he doesn't going to have some tools to really occupy the space. Even if he himself isn't doing it, right? Just threatening pressure with the rabbit hole, as you see there. And of course, the rocket and safe are always going to be great tools to utilize to really kind of act in his steed in terms of being front line.
Nice. Okay, I like the.
Wait a minute.
I was gonna say, almost got caught off guard. It was really focusing Arya, and Black Adam just kind of sneaking in there. Be threatening to get that KO, not panning out quite as he would have liked though.
He just had to escape.
And you know what's crazy about this tournament? I feel like everyone's playing a little ruthless.
Oh, they are.
Everyone's playing a little ruthless tonight. You know what I mean?
It's the last one of the year. You got to make it count, man.
11%? I don't care.
I'm throwing caution to the wind. Impact is everything right now.
True.
And again, I mean, how many times has Ross and Single been put in this scenario? I think they're sick and tired of losing to Mirror Man and Kostelix. But also, on the other end, there's so much pressure.
Oh no, Arya actually zipping right into the Acme Rocket.
Yeah, that up Acme Rocket is so strong, right? And I mean, we've seen Mirror Man, instead of using it for recovering, just kind of using it in the center stage, propping it up, and it commands so much area in the center stage.
Yep.
And on top of that, it just gets KO so early.
Yeah, I do love that he is understanding that I'm going to use this resource for that. I know how to recover. I have great movement. I trust in that in my gliding. So I'm going to use it where it counts to really win neutral, especially against a team with this kind of offense.
Ross is surviving on this Black Adam and racking up a ton of damage on top of that. This anti-projectile force field as well. Almost gets the follow-up onto Mirror Man there. Could be a pretty big drop. The lightning call down doesn't happen, but gets the pickup anyway.
That was fantastic. That pressure from Black Adam, not disappointing. And look at Arya getting involved too, sniping out some lives as well.
Oh, again, the up Acme Rocket. It is so powerful, especially in these multiple scramble situations where you got 3 to 4 players in just one general area. That rocket's huge. It's going to hit someone.
Yeah. All right, here comes the pies, man. They're going to sit back here, try to see if they can play defensively, put the rabbit hole out to really just be able to dictate the overall spacing here. But here comes the setup.
Okay, he's going to burn the rocket, and this is so big for the red team. If you force Mirror Man to burn the rocket defensively, guess what? It's going to be a little harder to get these KOs. But, I mean, right now, red team not really in that percentages for the KOs just yet. So.
True. Oh, okay. Wait. Good snipe there from Kostelix, making sure to protect the teammate Mirrorman. They're going to go back into center stage there and really hold down the fort.
Okay, 2 points apiece here. Whoever gets this first bit of momentum, racking up a bunch of damage. Everyone in that mid percentage range, not really ready to get KO'd just yet. Maybe on the Velma.
Oh, man.
Oh, here we go. See, again, just really able to dictate everything there, being able to use that rabbit hole.
Nice catch. Okay, Velma
That's one.
getting completely shafted. Great ability from Black Adam to kind of track her down.
Acme Rocket is being used as well. It's going to be coming back down through the center here.
Oh my God, Aria, what a play!
Man.
And what another clutch win for Ross.
Ross has been playing phenomenal,
He has been
especially
on
in
it.
terms of tanking. Ross has been so many situations where the blue team doubles down and tries to get him. And Ross just evades everything and even gets reversals on the way out as well. Ross has been doing an incredible job. And because of that, it really opens up Cinco to be very, very aggressive because they're so tunneled in onto Ross. Ross playing so phenomenal and really giving Cinco so many opportunities. They're doing so well as a team together.
That's just brilliantly played, man. Kudos to Ross and Cinco. They said, look, you double jeopardied us last week. We're not letting it happen again.
I'm tired of it.
They had enough of this crap, man. We want to see what a winner's finals or loser's finals looks like, all right? They're one game away from doing it. I'll tell you that much. They are putting together a good masterclass in how to just kind of like adapt on the fly and just clutching it out for sure. So, been wonderful, man. All these games, again, have been legendary. But, you know, this one right now, I mean, it's big for Kostelix and Mirrorman. They're on the verge of getting 3-0'd out of this bracket and losers. You know, not exactly how I'm sure they want to end their run, especially having the start and losers from that round 1 defeat as well. So a lot of pressure mounting on them as it tends to be.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Both teams in so much pressure because, again, do you want to lose to the team that double jeopardy you last week? Absolutely not. But on the flip side of it, do you actually want to lose to the team that you kind of smacked up the other week? And you're down 0-2. So I mean, we'll see if the stripe comes back out because remember, it was the stripe tagged along with the Bugs Bunny that really gave Kostelix and Mirrorman the success to beat, you know, Ross and Cinco last week, but now we're seeing the Velma and it's not really working out. They can't really get these KOs.
You absolutely go back to Stripe because that's where you're struggling. You just hit the nail on the head, like the KOs, right? Stripe just allows that offense and that pressure to just kind of bloom. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Velma's great in that support role for sure, but you got to get some. You got to take some lives. You got to get some KOs, put some points on the board, and that's I feel like where they've been struggling. So I think going back to Stripe will open that offense back up and just allow them to just try and go on a little bit of a tear, and at least at the very least give them a different look. So you know maybe not as easy to account for. At least for a third game, right?
Yeah, have someone who can really be an active disruptor, and Stripe can definitely do that for you. And, you know, of course, if he's been playing that in bracket for the most part, then that character's probably just more warmed up in general, even though we all know Kostelix as the premier Velma. But here, we're going to go into this now. Going into game 3 here.
Yeah, here's the Stripe.
And yes, the Stripe is out to play for Vitamin Water. Let's see if they can make it happen here, unless they go out 3-0 by Aegon.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just a much needed change. Yeah, you know, again, that's kind of the benefit of getting that additional game.
That was
I like the answer with the Acme Rocket, but the fact that he knew where he was going to go off of it to get that hit to finish it off anyway was just masterful.
This has happened a couple times already on Mirrorman. You know, we saw earlier on during the game where actually we saw Cinco was able to get that off the rocket, and this time around you're seeing Ross being able to cover the side. He's got to be careful, man. They are definitely keying in on Mirrorman.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw when the enemy team keyed in on Ross, but this time Mirrorman getting 2v1 and not having the same results as Ross, and they are on the hunt. Again, this vertical pressure is so insane. Another 2v1. Another 2v1 scenario, and Ross did such a good job. Cinco throwing out the hitbox, and Ross covering. He's like, okay, you're going to hit my teammate while you recover. That comes with a price.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%.
man. Welcome to the World
Oh,
Cup,
my
man.
Lord.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, dang.
Yeah. Well, they're talking to him.
There's not a lot of options if you're the blue teamer. The Stripe has come out, but I don't know if Stripe answered any of your questions right now.
No, not at all.
Not at all, man. There is no double jeopardy attached here. It is just, you know, your lives are in jeopardy right now. The way the red team has just decided to execute, they are absolutely just trucking through blue team. It doesn't matter what character you throw at them right now. The confidence is just showing and shining through. And this is looking like a Mirror Man and Koslik's run might be cut short here in loser semis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think that Gremlin needs to put back in
much
that
needed,
box,
much needed.
man. Yeah, just one. Let's see.
I was actually going to say, like, oh, wow, Ross did a great job avoiding the Agni Arc, and then got hit into the Agni Arc.
Actually,
At some point, it gets everybody.
Yeah.
Right? It just is
wait a
what it
minute.
is.
though.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Wow, what a dominant showcase there.
Wasn't even close.
Wow. And just like that, a 3-0, very, very convincing coming out from Ross and Cinco. Definitely making the adjustments, doing a little bit of studying up. And I mean, even when you think back to the last loser semis from last week, there was that opener in one of the games where Ross died so early to like a stray safe. And I mean, just getting KO'd extremely early on the Black Adam can be it's just such a bummer, because this is a character that should be really, really hard to get KOs on. But I think this time around, Ross really showcasing, one, just how many characters he can play alongside with the Cinco Arya, right? And on top of that, because we saw the Velma earlier, now we're seeing the Black Adam. They have multiple different strategies, and Ross's survivability on the Black Adam, and Black Adam also serves as a great backline character as well, right? Set up the lightning in all different kinds of ways, and you're also able to just tank for as long as possible and really just complement the vertical pressure that Arya has as well.
Yeah, and then you're able to throw people on the ground, right, with charge, down attack, all these kind of things, right? So a multitude of options there for Black Adam, and just I love how those kits flow so well together in terms of the verticality, like kill power that you were talking about earlier on, right? Just, man, that was insane, because Mirror Man and Koslik, what do you do now, right? People are looking at you.
Yeah, I mean,
this is week number 3 in a row.
Yeah, you got no
There's some
choice.
gaps.
You got no choice but to wait until the new year to try and, yet again make that crazy run in this Series E bracket. I mean, it's clearly not easy. And one thing I really got to credit Ross for too is with the Black Adam. Like, obviously the game plan was laid out. Didn't execute it too well last week in those losing efforts 2 times, but this week came into it full confidence and just had no issue, just completely hit. The fact they were able to get the 3-0, that I feel like is very telling about how much they were able to adapt and reshuffle the deck. And how they wanted to approach that. So Yeso is standing by with some updates for sure. Yeso, we're gonna catch our breath. You take it away.
Thanks, gents. A couple of great sets there. I imagine you were definitely trying to catch your breath after that winners finals. That one, well, I might have just missed there on the prediction, as K7 and Legendary do take the 3-2 win. That set delivered big time, front to back. Great games, super fun to watch. I do want to just kind of double down on what EE was talking about there at the end in terms of Ross and Cinco just making good adjustments, coming back this week and building off of the good things that they've done over the first 2 weeks of the season and tweaking some of the things that weren't working, and it looked really good there against Mirror Man and Koslik. That's a really impressive set, taking a 3-0 against a duo of that caliber, and in the fashion that they did, especially Game 3. Pretty damn dominant from their side, and Mirror Man and Koslik just kind of have to go back to the drawing board. They haven't been able to break into that top 2 yet. They've yet to get into a grand final so far this season. Of course, it's early. Have to give that little caveat, and I wouldn't say that, like, me as a spectator is incredibly worried. I know those 2 players are very talented. There's a reason that coming into the season, all the duos I was talking to had their eyes set. There was a big target on the back of Mirror Man and Koslik because they are very good. But things not quite working out early on. Hopefully they can work on it over the break, and when we come back in early January, they can hit the ground running, because we know those players are very talented. But right now, the focus is going to be on Ross and Cinco Go with an opportunity for redemption here against Dante and Miko Koro, because, of course, they fell 0-2 to them back in winners semifinals. But Ross and Cinco getting better as the bracket goes on, it would seem, played their best set of the day just now, and they're carrying a ton of momentum into this set. And, of course, Dante and Miko Koro, after playing an incredibly tight set all the way to the end of that 5th game, are hopefully, feeling good about the way they played. Of course, unhappy about the result, but trying to carry a lot of the great things that they did in that set against K7 and Legendary, and hopefully rolling in here into this best of 5 with Ross and Cinco Go. I think it's going to be a fun one. I love that we're getting delivered these really incredible sets later on in the bracket. And now I'm just torn. Do I want the rematch between K7 and Legendary, or do I want the redemption right now for Ross and Cinco Go? Who knows how it's going to shake out, but I think we're going to end the day today with some awesome sets here, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So, of course, next up, we do have Ross and Cinco go up against Dante and Miko Koro, and, of course, the winner of that meets K7 and Legendary in grand finals, and we'll get our last MultiVersus champion here of 2022. Before we do that, though, we're going to hit a quick break. EE, Bam, and Charles, they're going to grab a quick sip of water. We're going to get things rolling. When we come back, though, we're ready to finish things off. Losers finals on the other side of this break.
I'll be loading up, they wanna package this. Pray for peace, pacifist, I'm never old enough to give a promise.
All right, welcome back to Series E, the last Series E for MultiVersus for the year 2022. If you are for the year 2022, if you're just now tuning in, I feel bad for you, man, because you've missed some absolute banger sets as we're about to head to our losers finals and see who's going to get that trip to grand finals, where last week's champions K7 and Legendary are awaiting, new opponents for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you looked at how winners finals panned out, you didn't think they were going to get there, but they were able to just down the stretch,
found a way,
clutch it out, find a way, and that's what winners do. That's what champions do. They find a way to get the job done. So that's why they are seated and positioned nicely in grand finals. But gentlemen, it's not over yet, because both of the teams who are here, who are about to, have a great fight in losers finals, very capable of going the distance against them.
No, true. I mean, the thing about these guys, right, is really see how well they're going to continue to play defense, right? Because there's a reason why these guys are here on the precipice on being back-to-back champions. And it really comes down to defense, right? We talk about it all the time. Story old as time. Defense wins championships.
Yes.
And that's what's allowed them to stay in the game. But now you got some of these other teams. They're going to come, maybe not as insane of that quick-time offense that you're seeing from Dante and Mikoro, right? But more so, these guys are going to kind of be more spacing oriented. They're going to be able to cover more just general space, and the thing from that is how are they going to be able to navigate things like dealing with the safe, or dealing with the Velma coming through, right? Are they going to have the options against a Ross and how he's moving, right? And someone who can really kind of toe the line with that same kind of speed, but overall that character can do a little bit more zoning to really make things happen.
Yeah, I think the big question mark coming into losers finals is what character will Ross go? I think we've seen Ross go a bunch of different characters. Ross, obviously a very talented player, can play a huge variety of characters alongside with Cinco's Arya, but which one is the answer for this team specifically? Because this Superman Stripe team is gas pedal all the time. And when they're gas pedal all the time, but when the enemy team forces them to slow down, they always have the frost breath to fall back onto, right? When you think about the electric of Black Adam, that's something you can't frost breath.
It feels like Cinco and Ross are just taking that step finally, right? That next step, because look at their first week. And look at that robbery. I'm telling you, man, taking a step right into getting into grands with that opening, that was insane. You look at that first week, man, I don't think they won a single set. You look at the other one, Devil Jeopardy. And now in this bout, they are absolutely tearing through this loser's bracket, but of course this could be their greatest challenge for sure that they have faced thus far. The Soups and Stripe have proven, it's really hard to get a lead on them. Like, you got to kind of play them tooth and nail and really win those clutch moments.
Man, I'm seeing nothing but offense.
From both
That's
teams.
fast.
And
Yeah,
this
they're
is
swinging.
This is going to be a fun one.
I mean, Black Adam versus Superman is kind of appropriate.
Yep.
And I do really like this pick from Ross. We're going to stick it out with
Oh, the reversal.
Clap on
That
him.
big clap, man. That attack is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I love, not enough resources.
Really?
I guess Ross just, wait a minute,
yeah.
toss, but
Oh,
the
Get off my man!
electrifying!
My
Goodness.
That looked like it was all but done to put blue team up, and then you just see Ross say, nah, bruh, we doing things different.
Wow, what a pivotal play coming out
touch
with
me.
Ross. And Cinco just out there with the fishing hook, man. He was like, oh no, don't get me, oh no. And then Ross was like, off my mans, and just completely obliterated the other team.
Yo.
What a fast game one for this
Dude,
loser's final set.
That might have been a minute. That might have been a minute of just high octane
hit him with
action. Unloaded, man.
Got him.
Jeez, that's crazy.
GG's.
That's actually crazy.
Get in the electric chair.
Yep.
And I love Black Adam's victory screen as well.
Oh, yeah, of
just
course.
sitting on the
Sit down,
throne,
man.
you know what I
Bro,
mean? Like
a
dang.
conqueror, of course.
That's real kingly right there.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Jeez, what a game. And you know what's crazy? It wasn't even down to that last moment that was explosive. That was explosiveness right from the start. So just crazy. And it was actually Ross and Cinco that opened up with a very explosive edge guard, just sub 30, sub 40%. And right now, I just feel as we go on throughout this bracket, the offense just keeps ticking up. And I feel like players are getting a little bit more comfortable just competing on this patch specifically and really knowing when and where, because when you add just more whiff lag, right? Like more whiff recovery to any moves, and especially moves you use defensively as recovery, or while you're recovering, that's going to be more opportunities for edge guards, right? So because of that, I mean, it really just depends. Obviously, it's going to happen a lot in neutral, but that applies to every state of the game, in juggles, in offstage situations. So I feel like a lot of players are getting way harder punishes off stage, and we're just seeing it throughout this entire bracket.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be that way because, like you said, right now you have whiff recovery more prevalent. It's going to be an opportunity where people can actually, they don't need to deal with a stalemate situation anymore, right? Now, if you whiff, you actually have a risk of doing so, and because of doing that, now I can come through and actually utilize my offense, man. So great, phenomenal stuff by both teams. We're going to go in it again, game 2. It's time, man.
It really is. I mean, if you kind of think about it too, like it's so weird to see blue team like get dominated like that. Like they are definitely usually on the other side of that, right? They're usually the ones handing out those kind of barbaric, beat downs, especially for opening up games. But no, Ross and Cinco, they have definitely showed up in a major way. Ooh, okay. Definitely thought Superman was going to threaten right there, get that KO. But Black Adam this time again. This Black Adam from Ross, so vastly improved within a week span, man. He was not moving like this last week.
No, not at all. Oh, the bang bang. Gonna get away here. Trying to go for a clap opportunity for Dante. Dante, are you gonna make it?
No
You won't
resources.
get kicked.
Yeah, no resources, no chance.
Ross was not happy about what happened to him last time they fought, because I believe they fought in winners. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
And Ross kind of got scooped up from the up specials, man. He was getting snatched.
Yeah, that Velma was getting handled.
Squeezed, whatever you want to call it, man. He got beat.
Yeah, that Velma was getting handled for sure. But Black Adam, different kind of beast right now, as he is showing that the slight adjustment in the game plan having a major effect. How this set is panning out thus far.
Ooh, the combos. Getting interrupted there.
Yeah, got a good amount of damage though, and this good amount of damage is going to set Superman up in a not so great scenario here. 91% uses the armor, trying to call down the lightning though, and it's still Ross, still surviving, still tanking, and setting up this force field that's going to shut down these saw blades.
That's insane. So smart to utilize that to just kind of negate one of Stripe's best tools.
It's going to be weaving out here. Opportunity, yep, from the top.
Oh, trying to snatch up Arya at 60%. That's going to be a huge win condition. Now Arya all alone here on the left side, but is able to get back and get through this edge guard.
Oh, kudos.
Oh my goodness, well watch out here. We're off stage again.
Nice, smart stuff. Oh my God! What? Whose mans is this?
Okay, Ross. All right.
Tell him the man in black sent you.
Ross, we see you. We see you, Ross.
From Ross to boss. Good Lord.
Dang.
He is running this ish right now.
Oh, no.
And it ain't even close.
Sitting
4
on his
KOs.
throne. What up, man?
Dang, Ross sitting on the throne right now,
He's
man.
on the throne.
Dang, I know they came out with the Game of Thrones map, but dang, man, Ross, you didn't throw some daggers on that throne, man.
That's actually wild the way Ross is just, he is just in the driver's seat.
Man.
And if you're watching this, if you're, sitting in grand finals, you're probably thinking like, wow, this is, we thought it looked all but certain that we're going to have a rematch in grand finals from what we saw in winners finals. But Ross and Cinco, they are saying, nah, bro, we got something to say about that. We are a different team. We're giving you a different look. And they're one game away from getting the grands.
And even when you're thinking about this entire bracket, right, we saw a ton of Velma in the beginning. And Velma's still a fantastic backline character, but Ross letting everyone know that Velma's not the only backline character that is currently meta right now. There's so many other picks that give you so many different advantages. Yeah. And again, Velma does have weaknesses. She does have her shortcomings, right? And now Ross having that kind of high recovery route available to him now has so many different ways to survive and really make the tanking that he's able to do right now. And even after the tanking, Ross is able to tank for so long and then reverse so many situations and get the offense cranking.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Well, here we go. They are one game away from grands. Let's see if they can put it away. Crazy to think that this Superman Stripe team that has just been so impulsive and really imposed their will throughout this bracket could be on the verge of getting 3-0'd out of it.
You know what's crazy too? I think with Ross, it's such a great, I think Black Adam's is such a great pick for him because it's almost like this hybrid of a Superman that plays more of that backline, right? Which is kind of what his team needed. So
what his Velma did too, yeah.
Right. And even, even with Superman, you're kind of going all in, but oh man, speaking of all in, it looks like blue team is not out for the count just yet. You got 2 games on the board, but we're not giving up. It's 2 points to none.
Yeah, and relatively, decent percents here, especially on Superman. Should be able to live for quite some time. And oh no, we're looking for robbery. Yeah. 1 bullet, one up top.
This is what they made a name from doing a lot of times, just stealing. Stealing points like that. Yeah, absolutely. This is the absolute response that they needed.
The 4-0
convincing.
Classic?
Oh wow.
The 4-0 Classic?
It might be. It just might be.
It's very possible at this point. Good Lord.
We've seen the blue team do that multiple times. Yeah. So we'll see if they can line it up again. But nonetheless, 3 points to none. You're in a clear advantage.
No, reversal.
Okay. You do get the trade there. You do get 1 point on the board, but it is the blue team that just needs 1 more, and that's going to close it out. They do get a point on the board, but they got to do it 2 more times on the counter pick of the red side.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Obviously, the rebound right there. You got the counter pick. You don't let it go to waste on that exchange. But yeah, having to do it 2 more times, definitely a tall task, man. Those reverse, backdoor 3-0s don't come by often and come by easy. But this is the team that's kind of almost built to do it, right? To kind of get those robbery KOs and accumulate those points very quickly. They weren't finding any success those first 2 games, but that game 3, I don't know, something clicked.
Yeah, we'll see if the blue team can get some kind of momentum going, right? Yeah. And obviously a team that operates a lot off of momentum is going to be the Superman and the Stripe. Just give them an ounce of that momentum and they can turn it into a liter, a gallon, maybe even an ocean of momentum, if you will, right?
True. Yeah, when you look at these characters, right, over time, these guys, they love to have the best of 5 because on their side, it's like, how many times are you going to recover that way, right? Mm-hmm. How many times do I get to see your defensive recoveries off stage? Because sooner or later, I'm going to key into some patterns, and then that's when the robbery is afoot, right?
Afoot, I love that. Very true.
Keep the car running, man.
Yeah, keep it running, man. I'll be back in a second.
I got the patterns, man. Yeah. I got the patterns.
That's really how this team operates, man. All jokes aside, it is what they have definitely found such a successful run through. But again, week 3 of Series E, it has really been a turnaround for Ross and Cinco, and I love seeing that. So 1 game away from getting themselves into grand finals to see if they can clutch it up and pull it together. Because definitely blue team's starting to kind of build some momentum. Once you see that first game on the board, it's possible to get 1 and 2 again.
Oh, the reversal.
And not what they wanted, though.
Yeah, onto the Stripe. And I don't know about the KBI on that one. Kind of going straight up. Maybe Ross getting the cross up there. But nonetheless, it is red team now halting that momentum, right?
Yeah.
All the momentum from the last game, complete stop sign.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I do love the selection here, man, going for the Sky Arena. I think it's a good spot for it.
Aria,
Close it
wow.
out, so let's see what they can do.
I think Stripe jumped in the middle of that combo.
True.
Just got hit up.
Oh, another one get caught. Oh,
wow.
Man. The tactic K on that. So
Oh,
quickly.
wow. Ross striking with authority.
Yeah, Viva la France.
I don't see a white flag yet.
Oh, the Arya teleport with the dagger, avoiding the Stripe recovery, or avoiding the Stripe edge guard, I should say. And now look at this red team slowly making their way back to the left side here and just stabilizing. This is what they're able to do so many times and get the reversal, but this time, not enough. Arya needs so much help, but Ross not able to get there in time, and that's back-to-back, so we got 2-2 here.
2-2, man. Great coverage on the lower recovery there, coming in from Dante. We have an opportunity here on the left side, though, for red team, if they can make it happen, but Ice Breath is going to stall things out for a bit, so it looks like they're going to go for the 2v1.
That's all doing a lot of favors here in the neutral, in the recovery here, just really putting out that pressure and wait. The converter, the side switch!
Yes. And you got to credit her for just recognizing the position that she was in to just find that pickup. They are 1 KO away from grand finals. The rebirth of this team since the following 2 weeks has been insane to watch live. And it looks like Stripe and Superman on the receiving end. They got to do something ASAP.
Dang, Cinco got those.
Yeah.
Got the side switch.
Absolutely, man. The House of Stark is pleased.
Okay, off the top, but again, look at that. Ross with the jukes, left, right. Where is he going?
Got the evasion right now. Oh, he's got Superman in the sights.
There's gotta be. Oh, wait.
So many offense and defense on both sides here, but it's on the red team on the red or right side here, making their way to the center, getting the force.
Oh, the chase! That's
Wait a
one.
minute. Okay, Ross has to live here.
Oh my
Going
gosh.
for it. Look at this.
Oh, he went for the dodge schedule there and does not get it. The reversal.
That was tunnel vision. They were focused on KOing Ross. And you take your eye off Arya, assassin class for a reason. She'll sneak up and slit your neck just like that, baby.
Yeah, Arya is no stranger to that if you've watched Game of Thrones. And you know what Ross is doing in that last part? Ascending.
Ascending. Definitely ascending. Yo, mask.
I'm out. I'm
Mask
out.
off.
You
Don't
can't
ever
catch
forget
me.
Cannot, man. So there it is. I mean, guaranteed. Not going to have a rematch from Winners Finals. It was an amazing Winners Finals, by the way. But we are not going to get that rematch because Ross and Cinco, they showed up in a major way. Again, I highlighted the past 2 weeks have not gone their way, but what a run they have had since entering losers bracket, just tearing through anybody in their path.
Yeah, and you got to think, I mean, the amount of points Ross and Single able to rack up last week, I believe they got 4th place, still a good amount of points. And even when you're thinking about Mirror Man and Costlix, they're not getting, consistent top 3s, but their worst placement is 4th.
Yeah.
In terms of like the point leaderboard, I would assume they're one of the top teams there because they're consistent. Now, obviously K7 and Legendary now really, really consistent.
They're
This is
running
back-to-back
away.
grand
Yeah.
finals,
They're
right?
running
So,
away.
so they're definitely going to be on the top. But now Ross and Cinco kind of putting their mark up there in the top because once you get into this grand finals, the amount of points you get, the higher you go, it scales exponentially, right? So it's going to be a lot of points racked up here for any team in this top 3, top 2, even the first place. We'll see which team is able to get that first place in this grand finals. And man, what a grand finals we have cooking here. K7 and Legendary versus Ross and Cinco. I don't think this team has fought each other in this tournament.
I don't think so, no, man. This is a fresh matchup. This is why it's so exciting, right? I mean, you're not mad if you get a run back from Winners Finals, but at the same time, being able to see some fresh faces, and they earned it. They earned their trip here with a 3-1 victory, so it was not by accident or happenstance. They definitely have fought their way and made some great improvements from the past weeks that we have seen them competing. So obviously, we understand last week's champs, K7 and Legendary. One thing about them, as good as they are, not untouchable because we know they did get resetted last week. Last week, they still able to clutch it up and obviously take the event. But if I'm Ross and Cinco, I'm thinking, okay, well, this does give me some hope that, we're definitely still, we've done this much work. Why are we going to stop now?
Right. I mean, one thing I am really interested in is Ross going to continue on with this Black Adam? Are we going to see the man in black?
You got to. Get that Velma Kim out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Say less. I'm with you.
Call down the lightning.
Yeah.
Say it, man.
Let them know.
Keep ascending. Please.
Ascend! Ascend to the upper bracket!
Oh,
I
my
mean,
goodness.
that's exactly what Ross and Cinco did. They've ascended all the way from losers bracket into this grand finals where K7 and Legendary showing off a bit of consistency. If you thought last week was a fluke, well, K7 and Legendary showing you that the world's greatest detectives got some consistency to back them up.
They do.
All right. Well, we're going to get into grand finals any moment right now. I don't think we're doing any breaks, baby. No
Keep it rolling.
breaks,
No,
all
we
gas.
moving.
I need this grand finals. I need to see, man, are we gonna have repeat champs? Or can Ross and Cinco, I mean, just completely out of left field, have really just shown up in this bracket? And kudos to them, because we know how gifted both of them are. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Put
for
them
sure,
together,
for sure.
we expect
Yeah.
good things.
Right.
And finally, everything in week number 3 starting to click. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Yeah, and I think kind of getting over the hump that was Costlix and Mirrorman,
Yeah.
right? I think that was such a big deal. Just, you know, in terms of momentum in general in a bracket, but even mentally, right? This is something that you've been struggling with from week 1 to 2, and now coming into week 3, maybe just practicing more, maybe even studying up on some of the VODs, just knowing exactly what the opponent, or just remembering what happened to you, right? I mean,
True.
when you get KO'd really early at like 20 or 30%, I'm just talking from experience, it kind of gets etched into your brain. You know what I'm saying?
A little
Like
bit.
you kind of remember
You
exactly.
don't forget things like that.
Kind of
yeah.
remember exactly how the situation happened, so you're able to avoid those situations and really line up your win conditions. And I think again, the Black Adam was so clutch for Ross in, I mean, both of the sets, right? And I think even if Velma on paper is what you should go with, I don't even know what the on paper answer is, right? The meta is still very young, still kind of figuring out this game with all these new characters, with all these patches. But even if Velma is the on paper pick, I think you're just so hot on the Black Adam right now that you stick with it if you're Ross.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, I do hope that this causes a growth in overall Black Adam play. I think that this character is absolutely phenomenal. I love that you called it out where this character can kind of move like Superman, you know, but not as potent offensively in that way. But you have the back end stuff that you have, right? You have the zoning capabilities, you have the mix-ups, really great reversal character too, right? Like anytime you hit Black Adam off, not only can Black Adam just fly away, you know, and be okay, but a lot of times too, if he catches you lacking, right? And he does essentially that bolt dash. Bolt comes from behind, hits you. Now it's a reversal. All of a sudden, you're gone. So, got to be looking out for those things. But here we are now, grand finals going here at Series E.
Ooh, okay. It looks like the world's greatest detective putting on some armor. They saw that losers finals there, and they're like, all right, suit up.
Yeah, might need a little extra protection going against these
Absolutely.
guys. They are coming in with the absolute hot hand and really looking to make their mark on this tournament. Hard to deny them as efficiently as they have played right now, but you know, K7 and Legendary, we know they're in the winners portion of Grand Finals for a reason, so it is going to be a battle either way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it is Legendary that was the only Velma to survive the onslaught. That was the Stripe and the Superman, but wow, speaking of surviving onslaughts, it looks like the red team is going to rack up a point, and
they got it on K7 too. That's
Yeah.
a big deal because we always, you know, comment about how he's so evasive, and for him to kind of lose that first life within like 30 seconds, that's a big deal.
Okay, off stage here, it is Cinco on the low, on the wall here for how long? Ross trying to come back, relieve some pressure, does exactly that, still surviving here, does have the bat bomb attached, but great positioning coming out from Ross, just making sure he can't follow up off of that.
Yeah, wow, and they finally get off on that right side here, have Surge Stage opportunity. There
Yo,
Oh, we're going up top.
So close to continuing that, but man, you see the team synergy coming out from the red team. They knew exactly where to pre-position here and almost got every single follow. It's 2 KOs to none.
This is actually insane.
Never mind. All right. It's 2-2.
But hey,
It's 2-2. I'm sorry.
Bruce is on his last legs.
Yeah, Bruce he's struggling a little bit, man. That is not where you want to be. He is not the heaviest of fellas.
Okay, getting great combinations is this blue team onto the red team here. Racking up a good amount of damage here on Ross already. Look at 80% already. Oh, but the lightning coming back.
Yeah.
Tough match point for red team. They are absolutely cooking, picking up where they left off in losers finals.
This is a close one, though. Black Adam does have a couple stacks a weekend. They're going to go away now, have a potential here for Ignite. Ignite comes to back, and now we're sitting here 133. Got to be careful here.
Ross coming in for the offense, getting smacked up, but look at this, still at 150, but is going to get sniped by the megaphone, and it's Arya off stage. Can he survive the onslaught? Absolutely not. 2v1. Give me that KO.
That slight, what, 1 or 2 seconds of 2v1 was all they needed to clutch that one out. They were playing from behind the entirety of that time, but able to make it work, and no throwing this time for Black Adam.
Wow, what an explosive set there. And I mean, again, really the execution coming out from the world's greatest detectives. Like you pointed out, you give them just 2-3 seconds of a 2v1 situation. MultiVersus, it's quick.
It's
3 seconds
quick.
is a long time in that universe.
Yes. 1000%, man. Great bounce back from them, because again, I mean, the way that started out, it seemed like Ross and Cinco had that one wrapped up pretty handily, but no, that ability to always just kind of fight back, assess the situation, really what makes this team so special in Legendary and K7. Even when they're facing that adversity, they can rise to the challenge, they can rise to the occasion. They showed it right there.
Yeah, and it's funny because even whenever I feel like a team comes up with a different type of offense, and I'm thinking, man, how are they going to navigate around this? Again, I know we talked about it time and time again already. Their defense is so phenomenal. And it really, really negates a lot of these other teams' offensive capabilities. And it allows them to just always find a way back in.
Yeah, lining up the win conditions, right? And Ross has been very, very hard to KO. Just extremely great tank. But they racked up enough damage on the Cinco. All right, let's get like 60, 70 on the Arya, right? Yeah. All right, Ross, you can only tank for so long, right?
Yeah.
You can eventually you're gonna get hit at like 170 or 180 by some stray hit. It's gonna get the KO. But right when they got the KO, it was just like, oh, we also have Arya in a position where we can also just seal it out, get 2 back-to-back and
we're going
win.
there now.
Exactly. So again, lining up these win conditions in doubles is so much harder than singles, right? In any fighting game. So just having that awareness, and man, the world's greatest detectives, if I could just describe one word, it's clutch. They know clutch. When it comes to the very last stretch, they know what their win condition is, and their win condition is always just changing all over the place. But once something happens, they can be like, oh, we lock in and we have like 2 seconds to do X or 3 seconds to do Y, and they execute on that perfectly.
Yeah, definitely like very little downtime on their refresh rate, right, in terms of like what they're looking at and where they're directing their gaze. That's just allowed them to move so like fluid and so efficiently when it goes up against these teams. Some of these other teams, it takes them a bit of time before they recognize, hey, we need to go for a different tactic.
Yeah.
These guys are just on it.
They get it, man.
Just keep going, and the transition from defensive to offensive capabilities is
It's always
good.
It's always a mark of a good team. I think it's more of a mark of good team comms in situations like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where you can just kind of flesh it out on the fly. So, kudos to them holding it down. But we still got a long way to go before we decide the winner of this tournament. And we're going to see, again, it's the first time matchup of these two teams, with Ross and Cinco coming from the loser side of things.
Yeah, and this force field that Black Adam puts out in the center here is going to be so key against Velma here. But look at this. Already is Legendary knowing, okay, there's a force field in the middle, so I'll just wait, and then gets the smoke bomb set up for themselves here. It's going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a huge combo here for the red team, and both teams kind of trading back and forth, but Ross taking all the damage here for the red team. Arya still looking a little untouched here.
Yeah, taking quite a lot. I do love this stage selection, though, going for the Skyrim on the platforms. Of course, you said you putting that bubble right in the center, really just to occupy that space and really negate a lot of batterings and stuff, but that does not matter here. Already, Cinco on the board.
Yeah, you're putting that pressure on, but you're losing that life at the same time. Good capitalization. They know K7, he's going to be out there headhunting, but even he could be left to his own devices.
Wow. Wait, still get it. Still got it.
Wait, is Arya going to live?
Are you going to lose? And are you going to lose? Oh, my God.
Absolute destruction from the red team. Trying to maybe pitch this shutout, because they have yet to allow blue team to put a point on the board.
And Ross is still out here, 160, floating around, being an absolute menace. And Arya, Cinco with the dare stalls twice on the left side to get back, but it is the double KO to kind of get blue team back into this match, but you're down a whole entire point going into this last stretch. You are going to have to clutch up.
100%, man. Yeah, this team, they're definitely built to outlast, not necessarily built for the quick robbery, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them They're trying to find that solution though. I like the pressure being applied right now, but the response from Red Team, they are not lying down, not just kind of resting on the fact they have a lead. They are still finding ways to apply a lot of pressure. Great reversal from Arya.
Yeah, and you can see K7 trying to look for something.
Oh,
God!
Wait, look, you said look both ways before you cross the street, okay? Golly.
Get clapped.
Yeah, and you were bringing out these reversal side airs coming out from Cinco, but it's not only that. Ross is able to capitalize with the side air of his own, the clap to the face.
Man.
And we are watching, this is one of the few moments where we're seeing K7's offense, because usually when we see K7 put in a defensive position, it's pretty hard, right? But he's able to really shine and use that mobility. Well, what happens when K7's getting hit during his offense? Then K7 can't really let his defense show because he's just getting smacked up for hitting or trying to hit someone else. And it's Cinco that is so good at catching people trying to chase Ross. So many times K7 is trying to chase down Ross and Cinco is just like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. And even to the point where Ross is getting chased, Cinco gets the hit and Ross is like, oh, sick. This situation's happened so many times that Ross is like just waiting for Cinco to get the hit. I'm flying over like, yo, Cinco, let's line this up.
You get that? All right, cool. I'm not here, Be gone.
It's like smacking a mosquito.
That literally is essentially what we just witnessed right there. There's bugs on a windshield, the way they got, the way they got ran over. That was crazy. So big game 3 brewing right now. Reset potentially on the table. Definitely like to see, even after losing a close one, not thinking about that too much and just, able to easily take game number 2.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you can get 4 points to none, and next day it's a flat reset. You know what I mean? You don't get any kudo points or extra points for how many points you won. This is a totally new game here and a totally new stage. No platforms available here. See how this counter pick goes for the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
All right, not doing a bad job already, just exchanging some blows early on. This is kind of what you expect out of these two teams for sure. Seeing a lot of control right now from the blue squad. They're opening them 100%. Up pretty early. Exactly what I'm sure they are looking for. And Smart just getting right back to the stage. Don't play any games if you don't have to. K7 taking some big swings early.
Yeah, and man, very scary situation almost there for K7, kind of moving around like relatively low percent, but you have to be careful because these guys are really on point when it comes to
nice. Did you see that? How that just he disengaged with Black Adam and was let's go for the 2v1 and they get the big time dunk.
That was so smart coming out, and you could see Ross was kind of lining up for, oh, if you try to approach me, I'm going to try to set up this anti-air, and it was like, actually, no, I'm just going for this 2v1. Even assisting the teammate there. Really great stuff, and also picking up the KO. This counter pick working out phenomenal for the world's greatest.
It's the space for them, right? You got no kind of platforms and just a lot of space to work with. This is where they love to thrive on. That's why you often see them get counter picked to a small stage like that cave to kind of cut this off. But with all this room to work with, definitely a big game 3.
Ooh, wait, the Zach
K7 going the wrong place.
Oh my God, bro! What?
But great job on Velma getting the trade there. Blue team was already up a point. So, red team obviously taking that risk because they have to, but blue team making it still worth it for them, just straight trading back and forth for these points. Now red team needs to try to line up this double KO. Velma is already bleeding. Gonna put the pressure onto Velma and try to get the swing around on Batman. Can you get this juggle situation? No, not able to capitalize there. Gonna have to disengage.
Yeah, not gonna get in time. Oh, trying to zoom back dagger. Just to be with a teammate, but still just trying to find some stage, have a pincer option here, opportunity. I love this single, just kind of sitting back, waiting for the option.
Yes, they're looking for those big pickups. That's the way they're gonna maybe snake this game back. Arya in such a vulnerable position at 116, but the way she's playing, you might not know, but what an up there. Love that, love that. Use his aggression instead of picking a defensive option. No, I'm just gonna throw out this up air. We know how much hit and knockback that has. So good play from Legendary, even under duress, making big plays.
Yeah, and I mean, Legendary doing such an incredible job in that situation. You could tell Cinco wanted that there, just from the positioning. Because in that situation, you feel like you have to make the play. You're the team that's behind, right? And I mean, just great lining up that up air. And that's one of the things, it can be a little harder to edgeguard Velma when Velma gets right underneath you, right? You always want to try to set up that side air situation, that horizontal situation, but once Velma gets pretty low and close to the wall, you know, Velma can, along with other characters, can protect themselves either with their up air or with their up special, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things you're going to see from a stellar Velma player, right? They're going to recognize, I know you're looking for that, and if I'm just going to be underneath you, then you're most likely just going to stay away.
Yeah.
So you'll see Legendary will go for the the latest as possible fast fall, right? Diagonal fast fall to be like, oh, I'm next to you on the side. You know, maybe you have some opportunity there. Nope, quick fast fall. Now I'm underneath you. You don't have time to react. You get hit by that light bulb.
Yeah, that's the best scenario off stage you can be as with Velma. But sometimes, and Velma generally not going to have options to go high, right? So usually it's a little easier to kind of cut off that direction to that recovery path to try to set up the up air, but you know, Cinco not having enough time after that side air and just getting clipped up by the up air. And man, just a back and forth set we have here in grand finals, but it is the world's greatest detectives that are up 2-1.
Yep, they are on match point, looking to put this grand finals away. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah, game 4, and I mean, now this is going to be Ross and Cinco's counter pick, right? So we'll see what stage we go for here. Both these teams can get earlier KOs, but obviously the durability is going to be on the side of Black Adam.
All right, they're right into the fray as well. So is this trophy's edge?
With the platforms moving left and right here. So not a ton of room, but a decent amount of room here, and these platforms are going to kind of change up some of these offstage situations. Ross trying to lurk for this KO, but
going for it.
Okay, Velma's low here. Oh, but Cinco not able to connect that down air.
Yeah. Velma was able to get out of that situation. Very, very beneficial for them.
Very close, not going to get anything there, but relatively similar percents here on both teams. Oh, we're going to rack up damage, and just like that, that's 1, and that is 2.
Oh man, and not taking too much. It is Arya that's a little bit bleeding here, but man, Ross looking at a very healthy 75, especially on this Black Adam. So heavy.
That is, I mean, just to go ahead and kind of take that kind of lead that early on, yes, you are definitely setting yourself up to go to a game number 5. Not too much being done on the part of blue team just yet. Finally, okay, able to fell that one. Oh, and back to back on it, and all things considered, not too bad of a position to be in.
Yeah, didn't take too much damage, honestly.
No, they're okay.
Relatively close. So the only main thing right now is K7, but we already know time and time again he has been able to live for exceedingly high percent. So he was going to be all right here. Going to dash in, try to apply some pressure. Hopefully blue team can take some of the stage here.
Okay, I like that coming out from Legendary. Wasn't an eyewitness. There's so many situations when you're a Velma player and you're on the right side, and you're like, I can throw some projectiles, but no, you got to commit. You got to help out your teammate physically with, you know, just some of your hitboxes up close.
Yeah, I need you to be an accomplice, right? Sometimes.
Sometimes words aren't enough.
Yeah.
Finding that out the hard way. Ooh, making some big plays right now. Black Adam in a little bit of danger.
But so is Batman here. But look at the glide lurking. Wow, look at Ross utilizing that platform. I told you that those two platforms going that far out, it's really going to change a lot of juggle scenarios and a lot of recovery routes here for both of the teams.
Yeah, finally going to get a charge up special. That's going to be just enough here. But we should see Bruce going the way of the KO shortly too.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Needed that. Okay, hold on now. So this is actually where Legendary can
That's all it takes.
He can excel sometimes, but Ross not even giving him a chance to kind of set up there and do some camping off the stage. And he said, nah, I'm just going to go ahead and put you away, as Bam said, with that kick.
Yeah, and right there, it's kind of reverse situation where Ross had to go in for the KO. Look at that. Black Adam sitting on his throne with the 4 KOs on deck, but we got a game 5 situation coming on up. And Ross, even though fantastic tanking on top of the Black Adam, but knows when to go on the offense, was with the lower percent, and it was Cinco that had to kind of play that back end, right, on that back foot there. But Ross knows how to also get his hands dirty with the KOs, getting up there close and personal.
Yeah. All right, they are going to have, I mean, you listen, this kind of shades of last week, man. That bracket reset definitely on the horizon. Fortunate for them, though. In this case, though, they do have the counter pick advantage, so they'll be able to give themselves some space to operate with and take it from there. But yeah, this is crazy. Like again, the turnaround from Ross and Cinco has been the most impressive thing for me. You know, even this run from K7 and Legendary from last week to this week, you know, kind of expected at this point. But man, their challengers are always just right there, nipping at their heels to take that title from them. They're so close right now to getting another set.
But which really just shows how consistent you know, K7 and Legendary have been,
definitely.
even though,
They really have.
and all of these teams are just so damn good, but they're the ones that are showing so much consistency. This is back-to-back grand finals, and they even won last week, so we'll see. And they're still on winner's side, so still with the advantage here. Even if Ross and Cinco are able to get this game, they're going to have to beat them in another set.
They're going to have to do a lot of work to get the job done for sure. But you know what? A great start already. I mean, just taking this to Game 5, you know, itself is just incredibly impressive. This Black Adam has been a difference beast and a difference maker for them.
True. Oh, there it is.
See you
Yep, the
later,
classic.
yeah.
I told you, sometimes words aren't enough.
They're not enough, man.
They're not enough sometimes.
Stand
bro.
up. Oh, we know the combos. Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh, they're hunting again.
Yep.
Oh, but this time it's K7. Oh, but K7 gets put off stage.
Oh,
The
wow,
double dip.
Oh, wow. Okay, now that's how you respond. That's how you play
Okay.
MultiVersus.
I saw him. I was there. I love it, man.
Dang.
I love it.
Legendary.
Again, no eyewitness. No
Yeah,
eyewitness.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, but yeah, Velma in such a vulnerable state right there to just eat that KO. So this is going to be tough. I mean, you're definitely going to have to get these damage and just hope for this double KO. This is how you wrap up this tournament if you are Legendary and K7.
Okay, but Ross taking a bit of damage off of these juggles. Arya looking a little bit on the healthier side, but look at this team combo, the vertical setups coming out from the red team.
Oh, man.
Damage.
Yeah, this is
Look
not...
at this chase down. Wow.
K7's got to do a better job at avoiding this damage. They're still in a pretty good spot, but no, K7, my goodness.
Oh, the reversal.
Off the side.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
wait.
Oh, now Ross has to come in
Gotta
here.
Be careful.
K7 has to survive right now.
This is where clutch plays heroes are made right now, and he knows it.
Okay, look at K7 just lurking in the back,
Oh,
throwing the
great stage
batarang
positioning
backwards.
here.
Look at this, the zoning, and just being able to slow things down. Now got the smoke bomb out. K7 playing this so well.
At some point, he's kind of got to get involved. You can't just leave it all up to Velma. She's not really built for these 2v1 situations.
The other one's game here. Opportunity, I love it. Legendary going in, making sure to cover K7. This is a big hit though. Oh, 1-2. That's it.
Bracket reset confirmed, the clutch gene in full effect for the red team. We got yet again back-to-back weeks another bracket reset in grand finals. You want to talk about evenly matched opponents? Look no further right here. And another 4 KO fest from Black Adam.
With 452 damage.
Crazy, bro.
Man,
That's a lot.
Yeah.
numbers.
Yes, numbers.
Ross has got him, but
Yeah.
obviously Cinco really lining up and setting up Ross for these scenarios. The teamwork is just coming in full effect here. And honestly, even how behind K7 and Legendary were, they played to the very, very last amount, right? And in that situation, K7 was like, okay, I'm going to try to slow things down. And even in the scenario where Velma probably isn't going to be able to 2v1 there, you're still going to try it out. Velma had a way lower percent, tried it out, and honestly, just Ross and Single played it clean. They didn't tunnel vision on top of K7. Again, these team fundamentals, when you get this deep in the bracket, you see them really come to fruition because it's like, all right, you're going to stand behind that smoke bomb. That's cool, Bruce.
Yeah.
How about we just run up on Velma, 2v1 style? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's usually kind of the other foot when they are put in that position. It's usually Velma who's got to be off to the side, just kind of trying to camp it out and survive and leave it to K7, who, to his credit, is a little more built for that particular situation. But no, not able to overcome the deficit they found themselves in early. So man, that is, prompting what is going to be another amazing set, no doubt about that. I mean, these guys just keep trying to raise the bar and top each other set by set. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I love that you were talking about just these 2v1 situations, right? And the thing about it is, as you get to the upper echelons of play, those gaps that are required to have 2v1 situations become exponentially smaller, right? Yeah. And that's what we're seeing from you guys. Ross and Cinco are at a point right now where, you're stepping back a little bit because, to be fair, it's not like we're in situations where we're seeing K7
like run off the map and glide. Yeah, like K7 is still trying to be a threat.
Right.
But like you said, that space becomes tighter and tighter the higher skill level we see.
Exactly. And the moment they see that little gap, you're saying you're playing passive. I'm in. But man, grand finals reset. So this is the last best of 5 that we're going to have of the night.
It comes down to this. Who wants it more right now? You got one set to prove it. We're going to have some new champs in this incredibly scrappy red team, or will the defending ones from last week retain? We're going to get those answers soon enough. This game 1 going to go a long way to determining that.
Yeah,
Oh my God, see it, Velma. Jinkies, man.
Jinx.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had a Game 5 winners finals, Game 5 set 1 of Grands.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Oh,
this
that's
set?
one. That's one. Oh,
Maria!
through.
Everywhere she needs to be. Oh my goodness.
Yo, that is an assassin. Yo.
Eesh.
Yo, Cinco was like, yo, can I get some KOs?
Yeah,
Ross?
man.
Hold up. Can you give me an
Yeah,
alley-oop?
feed me.
He said, you got the last 8, man. Can I get one?
Man.
I'm trying to eat too,
I'm
man.
saying.
Oh, that's crazy.
Great start, though.
Yeah.
They're 2 on the board already. It was so crazy to see Legendary and K7 just with no answers.
True. And dude, the amount of up attacks I've seen, the ground up attacks coming in from Ross as well, to really start a lot of these lock combos and get him a ton of damage.
Yep.
Yes.
And as I talked about earlier, essentially
man.
these combos are like CCs as well because they're such extended combos that come out of Black Adam. So it allows opportunity for them to run up and potentially just get a really, really early KO.
It's not just a dominant win here for Red Team either, right? They're going to, like, get in this first game, they're going to have that counter pick advantage, which has proven to be a difference maker for a lot of these sets that we have seen. As long as they can keep pace and keep the course, it's looking like that's definitely going to be the case, and it certainly is. 4-1 slaughter fest, courtesy of Black Adam and Arya.
That is the scariest thing. When you get hit by that Black Adam Sair and Cinco's just there at the top side like, hey, what's going on down there?
Hold on now.
Hold up.
I didn't sign up for this.
Oh, that is dangerous, man. Just scouting for those early KOs. And that is game 1 of a Grand Finals reset. You do not want to go down like that after being winner's side. That's one of the worst situations mentally for you to recover from.
Yeah, it's so tough. And like you pointed out, these up attacks coming out from Ross, one, fantastic in terms of positioning, really catching a lot of these aerial approaches from the opposing team. And then on top of that, you're giving Cinco so much time to be like, hey, yo, over here, I'm zapping him.
I'm zapping.
I got him in the chair, man. Just come through with the down air, and they're able to go for these vertical loops.
Exactly.
And on top of that, even if they don't just get ground bounce combos, always just set up for the vertical chase afterwards. You don't necessarily have to do some crazy Twitter 0 to death, right?
Nope.
Just get some good damage, set up the vertical situation, and then both of you guys can just cover different scenarios on the juggle, left or right, and then from there, we're seeing the early KOs really just stack it up.
Just be efficient. That is the name of the game for this team. The efficiency has definitely been there, aided by great communication and just a lack of not shying away from some of these tough positions they'll find themselves in, right? It's not all defensive options. Like, they've had some great reversals where they've turned their disadvantage into an advantage. You know what I'm saying? It's really just all kind of meshed well to help them get to this point. And as we are in this second set, they are up a game over, both of these guys now. I mean, both teams are now on the loser side of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens when you lose the first set after being the winners of Grand Finals, man. But Black Adam, been the difference, man. And Arya's just been the perfect complement.
True.
Yeah, and who knew that this would be the team? This would be the team that could potentially stop K7 and Legendary, because there was no team that could stop K7 and Legendary last week. I mean, there was one team that was able to take a set, but not take the tournament. But this could be the team that takes the tournament over K7 and Legendary and stop their reign. Because if K7 and Legendary win this week, that's going to be back-to-back, week 2 and 3 up on the trophy.
Not just the money, it's the points accumulated too. That's a
really
good position to be in. So, well, let's see how this game is definitely going to pan out. I mean, 2 lackluster weeks for Cinco and Ross. Definitely, they have made up for that and then some. They're able to get this title, though, man. That is a ton of points that they desperately need to get.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this stage selection, though. But them going to Sky Arena with no platform, I feel like platforms actually would be better for them in the situation. I think that would be forwarding a lot of the up attacks that we've seen coming in from Ross as well, which has been a big starter for a lot of their insane strengths.
Yeah.
Good point.
Maybe just wanting a little bit more room for Ross to guess on some of these anti-airs might be the mentality here, but we'll see what kind of strategy is cooking here for the blue team, the world's greatest detectives. Really, I mean, even switching up to the animated series here, taking off the armor. Oh, wait a minute, is this going to be an early KO?
Oh,
are they finally going to get Ross?
The bounce off.
Are they finally going to do it? Not quite.
I mean, because again, Ross's survivability has been the hallmark for this red team to open up, 1, the defense, and 2, the offense for red team.
Yeah, and I mean, we're saying that with K7 on screen, right? This guy has been a defensive boss the entirety of Series E, so that just shows how great Ross is playing right now overall on the defensive side and offensive side.
Oh, finally catching him. Yeah, okay. That's going to put him up. Nice. 2 points to none. So finally getting that hot start that they've been looking for. Blue team cooking it up. Counterpick working out.
Yeah,
Nice. Wow. Black Adam right perfectly there off of Aria's hit.
Yep, just stacked KB right there with that clap. Such a powerful tool because once you can CC someone at all, you are flying.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's a neutral attack, of course, or that clap.
Yeah, and there's so many teams that after getting clapped up as hard as the blue team did get clapped up that last game, it would kind of be curtains. The momentum would be too overwhelming here. But look at this, just really pivoting things around into their favor, and that's something that the blue team had to do in winners finals as well, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
and they're in a very good spot right now to put themselves up. Look like
Ross.
Oh, gets a clap. No, but it's not going to be able to get that point,
I'm surprised that didn't KO actually.
Same here.
But we'll take it.
Ooh, still on the stage here, clinging to the wall, being in the air, still trying to get out. It's Ross that gets back, but finally gets caught up here, and that is going to be it. The clean clap back here, 4-1.
He took off the armor, man, and took off.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, sometimes the skin change is all you need, man.
No, man, the classic edition coming through in a major way. So now we got sets knotted up right here, 1-1. Sheesh.
Man, are we going to have a Game 10 Grand Finals? I mean, way the adaptation has been bouncing back and forth, we could see it happen here. We'll see if one team can kind of run away with the momentum, but both these teams just adapting so well and utilizing their counter picks so well that it's so difficult to really find the momentum and find the stride to just take the set all the way, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's it's crazy because you're seeing, we talked about, that is such a hard situation to deal with mentally, and the moment they got in there, they made the quick changes they needed. They made sure that they were really keying in on Cinco when he'd be kind of like floating around, because whenever Cinco's able to start anything off a dare or a special starter, then you're seeing, that's when Ross comes in, gets the clap, and that's kind of their quick combo, right?
Yeah.
To get them off stage, then they go for edge guard opportunity. Or otherwise they're going for the vertical. They've been really good at setting themselves in situations where they're not getting anti-aired as much, and they're also avoiding a lot of these clap situations, so they're not dying early. So really good stuff there. We're gonna go 1-1 apiece on Trophy's Edge. Another opportunity here for the world's greatest detectives to really close this one out and get themselves a back-to-back, or maybe we're gonna have a new champion today.
Yeah, no doubt about this, man. Very big game right here. Lumen, oh, some big plays coming out from Black Adam. Tried to go maybe for that quick KO. Not quite panning out, and then just goes over Batman right to his attention to Velma, who's definitely taking some hits.
Oh, God!
Oh, my goodness. Dog hand stuffed, to say the least.
I saw the lightning and the Ross positioning, and I knew that was a wrap.
Oh, absolutely, man. He went to Velma University, man. The books he was reading was ridiculous. Like, what was happening?
My goodness. All right. Amazing way to start things out for the Red Squad.
That is going to be 1 KO, but you're going to need 3 more. Ooh, watch out for the Velma up there. This is a very fragile, but wow, okay. Are you able to weave?
Still alive.
But still, okay, is able to land back. But man, Cinco, great survivability, and Ross with the great coverage, throwing out in front of Cinco for the threat. Right, oh!
That's one.
Nice, Ross. Getting caught up there.
True.
K7.
Yeah, the dagger, yep, great utilization there. Okay, 1 KO apiece here. Cinco at 109. This is going to be really hard for Arya to survive. You're so light. You're so frail.
Yeah, that's going to be it right there.
Look at the turnaround, though, from Blue Team. Are they going to be able to get back on the board here 2-2 if you're able to seal out the K7 life here? But K7 doing a great job just getting every single hit. Oh,
yeah, this is one of the best offensive games we might have seen K7 play in this set thus far. Really just kind of cooking on all cylinders at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that he's just been waiting in these situations to make sure he's opening up with battering, being a lot more conservative in that approach, but still putting out the offense necessary to really pressure a red team.
Blue Team with a slight advantage here, and the chase out.
Oh, I got it. Wow.
Wow, this is a huge advantage here. Ross is already at 110%. The red team needs a double KO here, and Ross is running out of resources in terms of HP, but oh, the chase down.
Oh, good catch there. Clap, just get him out and just kind of cover space.
Okay,
That's a big
Cinco
one.
is
Going
working.
up, that's one. Wait a minute.
Okay, big combination. Can Ross get back safely? He's looking for it. Look
get
at
reversal.
K7 on the hunt, but Smart not even like removing his attention from Arya too, who was kind of lurking.
Yeah.
Oh, they just turned all attention to Arya here.
Yeah.
Arya at 60%,
And
but
now
Ross
it
is
comes
back in the
down.
mix.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, they played that
Beautiful dare.
really well. Kind of forced their hand where they had to not allow a 2v1 situation to occur, but they were far enough ahead where it didn't matter.
Yeah, and right there, Ross did do the right play, right? Came back in, tried to find an opening, and got an up attack, but only on one player, not both players. So right there, great punish on K7. I believe with the down air, was able to take Ross off the top. Ross had taken so much damage at that point. So very, very close to bringing it back. If Ross connected the up attack on both players, man, that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
And we already know the
chef's
conversion
kiss.
game, right?
Ground
So
bounce, yep,
would have been able to, clean that up. But man, just so close and down to the wire. And we're seeing so many double fundamentals really come into play for both sides here, and just so well executed. And of course, you're always going to see that when we're in grand finals here at Series E.
That's what it is, man. No days off, no disappointment, and really just potentially, no stopping K7 and Legendary. They really feel like they finally hit that stride in this set. Maybe one more game for them to take the tournament, or as we've been talking about, another game 10 looming around the corner to see how this tournament is decided. If you recall last week, they did get reset, but they won it in 4. So they're kind of right there in a similar position to do it again with this 4th game coming up.
Dang, man. The week run back, same exact set count. Dang, man.
Same situation. It's kind of crazy. Different opponents, obviously, but you know what? The mission's the same. Destroy, man.
Does he know, man?
Does he know? What was he cooking?
Yeah, we'll see. This counter pick's going to be huge coming out from Ross and Cinco here. You're kind of on your last life, if you will, in the bracket for game count. So this counter pick has to count, and then you also have to win on your opponent's counter pick. Got to win 2 back-to-back if you're Ross and Cinco, but I know they're up for the challenge.
Yep. All right. Whew. Damn, I can't believe how good this tournament's been. From start to finish, man. Even on
Banger
round ones, you
after
knew
banger.
it was, you knew bangers were in our future. But here we go. Potentially the last game of the tournament if they can clutch it up and finish business. But Ross, obviously, and Cinco are going to have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say about this counter pick, this is plenty of space, which we know that K7 and Legendary love to operate with.
Yeah, they'd rather have that kind of like, instead of thwarting things coming from Ross's offense with platforms, it seems like they're just really sticking to having the space like you talked about earlier, right?
Yeah.
On the Velma side, so she can maneuver around, set up her word play and make things happen.
Okay, Bat Bomb, not going to capitalize too much. And look at
wow.
that.
Wow,
Early
that's
KO. Oh, wait a minute.
chasing.
One more. Oh, and
Great
what
defense by Legendary.
Yeah, what a recovery.
Seriously.
2v1 don't matter. I don't care about the numbers. Get smacked.
That is a different breed of Velma right there.
True. I mean, can you imagine going down 2-0 deficit just like that out the gate?
Yeah. I mean, that would have been so much momentum on the side of the red team here.
True.
But they're still racking up a good amount of damage. On the defense here, are you able to seal it out? Ross, of course, tanking it up, but for how long? Not too long here. Arya sitting at a 65%, so I mean that's actually a lot of damage for Arya.
Yeah, I mean, but the Velma too being high as well, right? They almost cancel each other out, all things considered.
Yeah, if they can get this
Trying to
one
get the
early, it
second
looks like
point
they
for
will.
everybody.
Let's
Ooh,
see,
yeah.
opportunity here in recovery.
Velma surviving, as is Arya, but a lot of big hits.
And we got the clues too.
Clues are lined up. The mystery machine is ready to go, but not an opportunity to bring it out. Being kicked in the face by Black Adam Ross, really bringing in the KOs here. 2-1. We'll see how long Cinco can survive. 97% on this Arya. Does get smacked up. Gonna get run back the bat.
Bruce.
Long.
Nice catch.
Oh,
What?
wow,
Did they finish?
so close. That's gonna be it.
Velma though from deep.
Yep.
Got the snipes on deck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this could be
Oh, the
huge.
dive.
Goes for
We
that
know
dive
that.
kick. Yeah, that would have been devastating if it connected.
So almost got the clap there, but I love that. Of course, Cinco actually trying to go and do the dagger teleport to Ross to go for a 2v1 situation. It's going to be thwarted here by Legendary. Again, great presence of mind and understanding these two. That's when they're at their most powerful here.
Definitely.
Oh, is that going to be it? No, still, Ross is alive tanking, but it's Cinco that's also taking a good amount of damage here for this Arya.
Yeah.
Look at all this control from the blue team. I have not seen red team have any ounce of control for quite some time.
Cinco, at the moment, definitely the liability. And they know that. Maybe trying to zero in, but keep in mind, Ross definitely going to support his teammate any way possible.
See, all right.
Cinco's got to maneuver and play very defensive, but at the same time, you still need to have presence on the board,
Exactly.
right?
Okay, good chase. I love that
there we
dagger
go.
teleport right there. Great blink. We're going down to the wire. Are we going to go to a game 5?
This is going to come down to Arya and her ability to survive. Stage control right there. Oh, for the blue momentarily.
Okay, Ross getting some
This
kind of
is what they
setup.
look for. This is what they look for.
Oh, they missed the follow-up!
man.
That's crazy, bro. Any other time, that is a guarantee for them.
All right, good blink there with the dagger.
Okay,
That's stage
slowing
control.
things down.
Yep, sitting back. I like this.
Got the force field out. The smoke bomb is out as well. Here's the opening coming out from the red squad.
See, going high.
Already.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Gotta watch out.
They know, too. They are well aware of who they're going for.
Legendary wants to give him an idea, man. He is waiting for it. That light bulb is on.
Oh, this is so
The charge!
close. Who's
The
gonna get
charge!
first?
Oh, yo, you are the GOAT!
You are an absolute nut. Being out there, Velma turned into a liability, and that is going to turn us to a game number 5. 2 insane sets, guys, but it all comes down to this game coming up.
Yo, what a read. That charge there, fast fall down, and the moment that hit, I am here. Don't forget about me. I'm still here.
I love the confidence coming out from Cinco because the last time that specific scenario came out, it was Legendary that was able to get the fast wall, able to get the up air, and it's the same situation where Cinco is at high percent as Arya, right? If you're at lower percent and you're going for some of these edge guards, if you get smacked up, it's whatever, right?
Right.
But when you're at these higher percents and you get reversaled into the KO and it's the final KO, then it's a coin flip, right?
Yep.
And Cinco had the confidence to just clutch it out.
Yep, didn't
clutch
give it a
it out.
chance.
And
Didn't give
even
it a
though the
chance.
last time Cinco was in that specific scenario, lost the game for the red team. This time was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the dub this time, and still had the confidence. And now we're going into a game 5. We got a game 10 grand finals.
Oh, yes.
Give me that.
I love that for Cinco, because sometimes you think about those previous plays and what cost you. You want to be able to make it up at some point. I'd say he did that and then some to force us into this game 5 like that. This is it. It comes down to this. There's no more resets. There's no more games. Whoever wins this wins week number 3 Series E for MultiVersus and can go into the new year as the current week champ.
Yeah, man, MultiVersus fans are eating right now. This is some quality content, man.
Yeah,
These are some matches.
Some of the best players you will ever see right here showing up.
Yeah, and if you're also eating good if you get this dub, because this dub, it lasts a little longer than the other dubs. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going on a little break.
Kind of going to New Year's like a champion. No big deal.
You know, like I'm going into the holidays a champ. You know what I'm saying? And I get to hold this dub for what, 3 weeks or so? Give me that.
That's a good look. That's a good look. No doubt about it. No one's going to argue with you on there. Game 5, set number 2 coming up. You hung in with us this long. I know you've been thoroughly entertained, but all good things must come to an end. Who you guys got?
Oh man,
Putting you on the spot.
I'm going Raw Cinco. Of
course you went Raw Cinco.
I'm going Raw Cinco.
Okay,
Man.
I like that. Talk to me, man.
Ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm looking at Raw Cinco
Raw
right now,
Cinco?
too.
Okay, man. I'm gonna say the defending champs clutch it up. I'm gonna say the world's greatest detectives got one more great bout in them. But either way, you can't be disappointed with who wins. This has just been 2 incredible teams, and the final game begins now.
And look at this. I mean, just trading back and forth on some of these earlier percents. This red team with a very, very slight advantage. But how far can you take the advantage? Because look at this. Okay, gonna force to use the dagger here. How the single get back? Okay. And here is those combos we were talking about.
Wow.
Okay.
The KBI mix-up, I believe, on that. It was
yeah.
the side air that came through and maybe not really ready for the follow-up. Maybe was assuming a more vertical follow-up here. And it is red team that takes the lead.
They have been really good. Like, obviously, we talk about their verticality, right, in their combos. But they also understand when they need to go and cash out and hit someone for a loop for a horizontal set up into an edge guard. And that's something that's been really powerful for them to apply that mix up to a slew of teams throughout this entire bracket.
Yeah, and saving it for when it matters. Game 10.
Oh my eye.
So close. Oh my, I love that. Oh, throw the dagger. Nope, I can teleport. I love it. I love it. Oh, but you're gonna get caught. Lacking there by K7. paying attention. I love that he was aware that Cinco's going to come back at him.
Okay, but look at this.
Yeah,
2 points.
Ooh, maybe gonna even up. Yeah, okay, yeah. Velma at that percentage, definitely a liability.
K7 though.
137. K7's defense has to show here, and this is tough. They're down an entire point, and the percentages are even.
Yeah, this is not at all in your favor. You know, definitely built to outplay teams, but making comebacks like this definitely gonna be a little tougher for the blue team, and they got to know that. Red team 1 point away from being your new Series E weekly champions for MultiVersus. And damn it, they are playing like it. They are bringing everything out right now. The confidence in full swing.
Wait, double edge guard situation here. Ross at a little higher percent, but red team able to slip through, get the reset. Also set up the force field on the left side. Velma's not going to have as much pressure, and it's Arya versus Velma here, not giving Velma any opportunity to set up these projectiles.
Okay, opportunity here. Bruce coming up the bat. Flying in high.
Oh, great pickup, yes. K7, perfect position.
Here we go.
And yet again, Arya gonna be that target.
Yeah, and Velma on the target for the other side here. Okay, look at the force field.
I love it. Key option, sit back, set up shot. Here's the clap, that's one. The combo.
Oh my goodness.
The combo going to top.
But Ross wasn't able to capitalize off the top. Blue team was able to fight through the jungle situation, which is so good for the red team.
Yeah, really another rare whiff.
Oh, the mystery machine is out. Okay, targeting on the Arya. Wait, I think
There's no way!
Machine!
No way!
Scooby and the gang coming through!
Fred is out here! Fred is out here!
Oh my God!
No!
No shot! The mystery machine decided that, bro!
Oh,
how many times have we seen that be a non-factor, get destroyed for being too close? But when you have the space, just get the hell out the way and let Fred.
No way!
not the mystery machine. Dude,
oh my God.
I don't want to be Cinco at this moment in time.
Never.
Like, I
Literally
just,
never.
Like,
I would understand a rage moment in that situation.
Literally never, bro.
Going out like that?
No,
no,
there's no way. Not on the I-5.
Not on game 10. Not on game 10. Oh no.
You couldn't write it any better than that.
But it was K7 and it was legendary. That was down an entire point. They brought it back. And in this last scenario, they were able to set up the mystery machine, get the separation, put the pressure on Ross, and it's 2v1 on the left side, and then yoink, spoink, the mystery machine came through and got the
Cinco
snatch.
right now. That son is definitely Cinco's mind right now. He is screaming.
It's actually insane that Arya just like the position she put herself in. Look at this, like, okay, machine's coming through.
Dude, you know what's
going
crazy?
up and back.
Oh my God. It's crazy
over.
because Cinco he just freaked out.
Yeah, I think Cinco in that
freaked out.
you cannot go that far. Like, you burn all your jumps super early on. Usually in that scenario, you want to get closer to your teammate.
Oh, no.
And on top of that, Legendary had the megaphone lined up because you burned so much resources and then put yourself off stage after burning those resources. So it's like the mystery machine's going to cover you going low.
Yeah.
They're not the greatest drivers. They just go off the map. They just go off the map.
Yeah.
So I think what Cinco was trying to do there was trying to burn all the jumps and then just have the mystery machine go underneath and then come through. But then you also have to deal with the megaphone, but just didn't line up the resources correctly, and that is...
It was a fade. It was a fade back there. Once I saw that fade back, I'm like, this can't be real life.
To make a loser's run like that, get the reset, get the game 5, and that's how it ends. You're not going to be sleeping too well tonight. I understand that, but hell, amazing entertainment for us and all involved in that for sure. Every week it just seems to raise the bar in the multiverse competition that we see here at Series E. But hell of a way to conclude the event for the year. Been a pleasure, my guys.
Dude, Cinco got desynced.
He actually did. And while we try to piece him back together, here's Yeso. Oh my God.
Oh boys, that was a hell of a way to end the year and to end this bracket. I was keeping my fingers crossed that the sets would continue to deliver, and they absolutely did. Hats off to K7 and Legendary, of course, back-to-back winners here. They've had to deal with the reset both times, but they both came through in the end. And man, that one, I'm with you guys there. That one's gonna sting. You know, Cinco's going to wake up in a cold sweat on Christmas Eve and see that mystery machine coming for him once again. So we'll hope, maybe they can get some redemption in the new year. But hell of a grand final, hell of a way to end it out for our final broadcast of the year, and that was super fun. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming to hang out with us all here today. Shout-outs to Bam, EE, and Charles. They crushed it on the cast tonight. They were so much fun. I was thoroughly enjoying all of the pop-offs here in the studio, just listening to their energy, and they had so much fun, and it certainly made it even more fun for all of us here to watch, so thank you so much to all of them. They absolutely crushed it tonight. Folks, that is it. That is it. 2022. Of course, I know a couple weeks, but with the holidays coming, we're going on break here. Series E is going to take a little bit of time off before we come back and get things right back underway in a few weeks. So that is our final broadcast here for 2022 from myself and everybody here at Esports Arena. A bunch of the staff out here in the production room. I don't know. Do we have the Intel cam? Dang, we don't have the Intel cam. All right, pretend you can see everybody out there. They're awesome. A lot of wonderful folks here that work at Esports Arena, and they've put in so much work here for Series E all year long. We just want to say a big thank you to all of you and hope you have a wonderful holidays. Stay safe, have a good time, spend time with your families, and have a good time. And we look forward to seeing you back here in a few weeks. We'll be back with Apex, MultiVersus, Guilty Gear Strive, Halo, and more in the new year. We're looking forward to it, doing 2023 bigger and better than we even did 2022. So for myself, the entire live broadcast crew, and everybody here at Esports Arena, thank you so much again for coming to hang out with us here today and all year long. Have a wonderful holidays. We'll see you next time, and I'm gonna have a little sweet treat as we say goodbye. But have a wonderful break, folks. We'll see you later.